All right. We should be live. This is Serious Jest, and I am here with Dinar321. Did I pronounce it right? Dinar?
Yeah, it's good enough. Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, how would you pronounce it?
Just say it, Dinah. It's okay.
Dinar? Okay. So, So my man Dinar here and I are going to be announcing the another match in the first round of the PlayStation, the first inaugural PlayStation 4 Cup of Blood Bowl 2. This is an official Cabal Vision event. We have been asking for this since the game came out. Some kind of big cup. PC had their World Cup, and now they're having their championship ladder and the championship cup, and the console wanted in on this. So finally, Nithios and the Focus and Cyanide crew gave PS4 what we've been asking for, and we have a good group of 16 coaches that fought, scraped our way, grinded our way through this ladder, and the top 16 teams, actually the top team for each race made it, and then we took the top 3 overall after that. 16 coaches, we've all been hooking and jabbing in here. We've already had at least 3 matches. I think it is exactly 3 of the 8 matches that need to be played completed, and we are now witnessing the 4th. This is a matchup between FC Atletico Funtimes, waving the Blood and Tears banner, the Blood and Tears being their league, and the coach is Mojo Nova. He also likes to go by Mojo, El Mojarino, Moj, your favorite coach's favorite coach. That's Mojo's just got a lot of different names. And
Yes.
on the other side of the pitch, facing off and visiting his team at home, is ReznorRulesYou's Welves Do It in the Dirt. Reznor hailing from the esteemed MML Meat and Mayhem League. And these two teams, both, as you can see, are full of some talent. And why don't you tell us, Donna, you did the preliminary match research on the abilities of the teams. What do you think are the keys to the game here?
Well, I just have a feeling that it will be a pass play, a long bomb somehow, and I think that Reznor Rules would actually be switching side a lot to outmaneuver the undead, which are so slow at keeping the pace of the Wood Elves.
And there's a quick snap.
Even though when it rains, it doesn't matter for the Wood Elves because they have so many agility upgrades.
Yeah, so for them it's still 83% pickup, right?
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't
By the way,
matter how much it rains.
just pointing this out, I don't know if you noticed, but Count Luther von Drakenberg has made an appearance on the pitch. And so
Yeah.
it looks like there was a big TV difference. I think you mentioned that to me pre-match. Was it 400 difference?
Yeah, 410 actually. So.
Oh, so it works out perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Luther demands, I think, or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So,
And I guess he didn't want to buy the wizard because he won't gain as much on it anyway. Well,
against Wood Elves, right? Yeah, I agree with that.
because the Wood Elves can easily pick up the ball even if it's a bad scatter for them with agility 5 and 6.
Absolutely. So we have seen a few of these matchups so far already, especially with the opening, the inaugural match was what's here for beer. Your oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't that. It was the Bloody Elves from Demented and the Coaches of Destruction of Bernie Buffon in the first game of the Cup. And you hit this diametrically different styles, right? You have one bashy team and another one like the Wood Elves that's super dodgy and likes to throw and pass and run away. Do you expect that that's what we'll be seeing?
Yeah, this is exactly what we will be seeing. I played Reznor Rules before and I never beaten him. It doesn't matter what team I play with, he play his Wood Elves extremely well.
He is a good coach, and Reznor's general strategy, to my knowledge, is try to avoid contact with these guys and just throw a lot of sexy passes, run away, get in there and get some jabs in, piss the other guy off, get him obsessed with trying to hurt you, and then run away laughing before he can. Let's see if he can do that, and let's see if the rain affects it at all. But like you're saying, these Reznor loves his agility on his guys. So a lot of guys think that at some point there's diminishing returns on agility and it just becomes bloat. But when you have an agility 5 war dancer, when you got a couple of and an agility 5 catcher, and then the rain kicks in, that's when you really see them start to just be able to do things. The disparity in agility between these teams becomes huge. And I think you mentioned, right, one of the keys to the game for the undead here will be keeping Carrion Ripper alive and on the pitch, because if they lose that sure hands ability now, especially in the rain, they're pretty much screwed on handling this ball.
Oh yes, it will be so easy for the Wood Elves to pick up the ball. He can cage up with one mummy on each side of the cage though, so he will get a guard from. It doesn't matter which direction the war dancer is coming from if they have a guard on each side of the cage, but you will be so slow going up the field. You will go one in second
Right,
time,
and you
right?
only got 8 turns to
Yeah,
get up there. So if you can't steal the
exactly.
ball, you can at least stall the cage, and that's a team a lot of I mean that's a technique a lot of elf teams like to take. They do what's called the
Yeah.
column defense, which we might see. They just create these columns, so at most you get one hit on an elf. You move one space and then just back the columns up, and basically it
Hmm.
becomes impossible for you to move downfield unless you start to, until you get desperate and you start to take chances. And when you do that, then that's when they really open up and pull that what we like to call elf BS,
Yeah.
dislodge the ball and run away with it.
For Mojo's sake, I hope the wipe does some damage. He have a wipe with tackle, mighty blow, and piling on. He can actually remove some players easily. So we'll
That's the
see
guy
what
we're seeing
happens.
right here, Oswald the Stern, who
Yeah.
he looks like a dangerous SOB. He hasn't racked up much kills or whatever in the Hall of Fame. And I don't know if that's lack of games. Let's see. This team actually had a pretty good record: 17 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses. And
Hmm.
Reznor had 24 wins, 8 draws, and 11 losses. So Reznor's lost a little
Yeah.
more. I think that was earlier, probably. I think as this team has developed more and more, they've become a lot tougher to beat.
Yeah. And the thing with his team now is it's easier to play with all the agility involved in it.
Absolutely.
He might take the same risks that he used to take, but it will be much easier to execute them.
Who do you think is the
And
favorite for the win here? Who would you predict?
I would predict the Wood Elf if they.
I
Yeah,
I, I
I
think I
would
agree
just
with you.
predict the Wood Elf.
The reason I agree with
But
you is because the keys to this match, really, it's just like this undead team probably cannot hang with this wood elf team when it comes to like if it gets into an offensive shootout, they're not they're not able to hang with them. But
no,
what they're really gonna have to do is hurt a lot of these wood elf players, like normally, right? That's the strategy against wood elves. Break as many
yeah,
of them as you can before the half ends. The problem is that Rez is an expert at pulling his guys away and giving you very little hits on his wood elves. So I don't know. Mojo's really gonna
yeah.
have to step his game up to beat this team.
One tactic against him could be to actually try to hit his pieces into your own line of guard, so at least,
Absolutely.
yeah, so you can get more hits on each piece if necessary.
Yeah, the only problem is
Here
that
is
they
that.
just don't stay there. They don't, it's like you can knock
Yeah,
them into your pieces all you want. You mark them up. You think I got them for next turn. They just dodge away.
yeah, exactly.
So you
So
just got to
try
pray the
to,
ones keep coming.
yeah, he's doing something here though, but it might not be enough.
He's
We
doing
will
what you
get.
said exactly. He
Yeah,
didn't land the initial hit, but he pushes them back into the count, and then
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, this is a good way to get multiple hits on the guy. So it's almost like a poor
And that's
man's
what he
frenzy,
needs to
right?
do. Yeah, he needs to do this all the time.
Just play ping
Make
pong with the
sure
wood
that.
elves and take them out one at a time,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's how you do it. You got Dorail down.
Now, do you think Mojo will try to foul the pieces to rest this game?
I have played
Or
against Mojo. I, by the way, am a member of both the MML and the Blood and Tears League. So both of these guys I've played against repeatedly. Mojo will definitely foul you if he gets the opportunity. I mean, but let's be honest.
right?
Any of us, if given the opportunity to foul in this context, in this tournament. If it means winning, we're going to do it. But Mojo is specifically set up to do that with this guy over here, Gorfang Gougehearts, who was obviously an orc at some stage, and has continued his orcish ways by continuing to foul and block in the afterlife heavily. So, yeah, I think he's going to put the guy down, and then he'll foul him. So we'll see if he fouls the sacrificial elf number 2, who's number 2.1, who's down. So number 2 probably died, and 2.1 came in to take over for him. Rez is hilarious with these names.
Yeah, he is. I love them.
By the way, I happen to know Rez enough. I think I could speak on the naming scheme of his team. Rez is a big fan of the fact that wood elves are in the forest, and they're kind of unlike the high elves, who are these arrogant, haughty, elves who come from, money, and they're all rich. These are like the hippie elves, right? And these guys, they're dirty. They don't like soap. They might actually develop a little elven scent there that you're not used to smelling. I imagine it's something like cat urine. But he embraces that. He's like, you know what? Welves do it in the dirt, and that's how he named these guys. I don't know where he got Blind Welf Samurai from, but that's a really cool name for the war dancer. And Slop Heap is just kind of that that dirty theme he's got going. Slop Heap has made his name in the Hall of Fame, by the way, while playing in the C ladder, the champion ladder. We call it C ladder for short around. Slop Heap actually came up with being the most experienced. He is the second leading scorer, I think, in the entire C ladder during that time. He is the leading interceptor. He had 2 interceptions. Nobody else had more than 1. So he's kind of all over the place on the record books. I would definitely say Slop Heap is his star player.
Do you think it was the right play to put the 3 next to Luther? Because only 1 more assist, and he might have trouble getting the 3 up again.
I believe that. See, here's the thing: it depends on what your theory is with trees, right? If your tree is an integral member of your unit that you use to put down other people, and you spearhead the attack behind the tree, and losing your tree would really suck for your team, then that's probably not a great idea to line him up on one of the biggest, baddest guys on the other team. But if the point of the tree is just to absorb as much punishment as possible and trap as many people next to you as possible, then putting that tree next to as many players as possible is a great idea. So, I think he wants to trap Luther if possible. Luther is a very agile vampire, and he can just dodge away if he wants to. But if a 1 happens to hit, then it's only a 50% chance he'll get to re-roll it because he has that pesky little loner icon next to it. So I think this is part of Rez's strategy. If his tree falls down, he'll just keep rolling until he gets back up, and then he'll go lock somebody else up in that tackle zone. And personally, if I was playing for Mojo Squad, I would do everything I could to avoid contact with that tree because it becomes a black hole.
The same.
Yep.
So you should just give the tree a zombie, pretty much, so the tree has something to push around or punch around.
And the stand firm helps, definitely, because then you want to push the tree away. You bring all these forces in to hit the tree, and you get a couple blue arrows. You're like, well, at least I'll push the tree away, and then we can all run away next time. Nope, that tree's standing right there. Ain't going nowhere. It's a pain in the butt.
Rest just did 2 red die on the mummy.
And got away with it,
I'm not sure what the intention are.
Speaking of stand firm, that mummy has stand firm. Steve ain't going nowhere. So Steve is kind of like what the tree is, right? He's marking up as many of these guys as possible.
He might have missed the stand firm skill actually on the mummy. So he thought he was able to push the mummy back, but wasn't able to because now the catcher is in danger pretty much, or not really in danger, but can easily be.
That is a bad moment when you muster all these forces together, and then you take the big 2-die hit that you got. You're like, yeah, I finally got this bastard. It's I've been waiting to get this hit on this big guy the whole time, and then you get the big blue arrows, and the guy doesn't go anywhere, and now he's staring at you, leering for the next turn. Not good times.
But you know how these elves are, they don't give a shit, right?
No, these elves do not care. Um, no, well, but like I said, this is not. I have said this before. Rez prides himself on his ability to maintain minimal contact, and
Hmm.
this position he definitely is not comfortable with. He doesn't like that. Yeah, those elves are
Yeah.
going to not stay there for as long as possible, but yeah, we'll
But I
see.
like the position, defensive position by Mojo at the moment. I don't think he needs to do much here. You just need to wait and see what else does.
Just keep bashing as many. I agree with you. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, the more contact you can get, the more of them go away by the end of half, the more likely you are to win. So yeah, so his lack of focus on the ball right now is probably a good thing, right? Just keep hitting them, hitting them, hitting them, and hope they don't go down.
Hmm.
I mean, hope they do go down
And
rather.
he uh, he and Mojo are doing the same thing I did against the rest earlier today. I moved up on the left side, and Mojo see a small opening, and he will use that opening for what it's worth. He will move in his entire team through if necessary.
Yep. And you had a particularly bloody match today, man. Wow, I caught that. Uh, that was that
I've
was
never
probably
been
the
so
bloodiest
lucky in
match
my
we've
life
seen in the cup so
ever.
far. And if some of the
But
chat is asking who you are, this is I'm talking. My co-host here is Dinar321. He is the coach of Here for Beer. I think our only human team in the cup, right?
yeah, pretty
And
much. Well, you
you
played
guys went
a
at
bit of
a
human, but
particularly
you wanted your
vicious.
chaos first.
What's that?
Yeah, and you wanted your chaos to come through to the finals, or not to the finals, but to the knockout round. So you didn't want to play any more human. So I was pretty much the only one playing human
Ah,
in the champions ladder.
I had a human team I started playing called Quentin's Killers, and they were all named after Quentin Tarantino characters,
Yeah,
featuring the Bride and different guys like I had a lot of fun with that team. I started that new team because the Chaos Team's TV got really high, and I was having trouble finding a match in Sea Ladder
yeah,
sometimes, so I started the new team and started playing that. But yeah, I don't think I
yeah.
ever intended to take that team all
Whoa,
the way to the cup.
yeah, really
And
going for it.
there goes Nuffle's first gift of a one,
Oh, this
and
can be good.
it's not
This
enough.
can.
And what's going to happen to Slop Heap? That's their star player right there.
Yes.
Rez right now is having a butt clenching moment,
I would go all in on this. I would follow on piling on and do
oh
whatever I
yeah,
could to remove that player
without
because,
question.
yeah. So I
Absolutely. I'm
think
surprised he didn't.
that's
Very
what that
cautious by
limits
Mojo.
well.
You're
Yeah,
not going to get many
very.
hits on that guy. Rez is very protective of him, and yeah, I think it was a kind of it's easy to second guess these guys, and the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
thing I
of
want to
course.
do is try to say, like, oh, I'm gonna, give my tactical advice like it's better than theirs. But personally, if I get a hit at that guy like that with a mighty blow guy, and he is piling on, I am piling on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're
was
taking a
thinking
risk,
exactly the same. Yeah,
but
but the
the
risk should be
satisfaction of breaking a war
worth it.
dancer like that is
Yeah,
good.
yeah. The I think Mojo is standing kind of strong on the pitch. He's a little bit weak in the middle, so not sure what I would do here if I were playing the Wood Elves. He could push through the middle actually with the tree.
The middle looks open. Our guys in the
Yeah.
chat here is. I think there is a strong anti-war dancer presence in the chat. Even though I will say this, the chat is full of MML guys right now, and they're cheering for their man Rez over here, trying to represent for them. But at the same time, some of them can't help but remember what kind of vile things war dancers have done to their teams in the MML, especially since a Wood Elf team actually just won our championship. So
Yeah.
beat the hell out of an Orc team and was farming SPP in the middle of the championship too.
Really?
Yeah. So uh, pretty funny. Hey,
But
speaking of leagues, this is I think the first time that we've gotten an audience to hear your voice and get to talk. So what league are you in? What league are you representing?
I'm representing Blood and Tears. I
Nice.
play in your, yeah.
Very good league.
Yeah, yeah, it's quite nice.
I'm in that
Yeah,
with you as well.
look, look
You
at the
playing any
game now.
others?
No, I started playing Blood Bowl for 1.5 years ago.
Oh,
I started
nice.
playing it tabletop, to be honest, with some friends, and I kind of got in love with the game, and I figured I'd try it out on PlayStation, um, because I do not have a computer at the moment. So I figured it was fun enough, so I bought it, and I just fell in love with it right away. So I've been playing, I don't know, I think I have around 450 games, something around
Nice.
there.
Yeah, so you've been grinding.
Mm,
I've also been playing it a little under a year too. Well, you've been playing it longer than I have. I think I'm a little like I'm approaching like my actual 1 year. I think I
yeah,
bought it during the Black Friday sale of last year because it was cheap, and I was like, I heard good things about this game. I'm not really normally into turn-based things like this, but this looks too damn cool. And pretty much anything related to football, I will pretty much enjoy or try out. I even like the movie The Little Giants. I know, but it's football related.
yeah.
So, and
Well,
people, the whole thing about the PC, personally, my opinion is, I definitely respect our PC. I refer to them as our PC brothers, but, I feel like I'm really happy. I'm happy I'm on console. I think we got a special thing going over here. I think it's a special brand of player, and I think I really enjoy the fact that I'm playing it on console rather than PC.
yeah, I feel that more, well, I can't be sure about this, but my feeling is that on PlayStation you have those people who truly enjoy the game. On PC you have a lot more that are just trying the game, if you understand what I'm saying.
You think PC
Um,
is more dedicated and Blood Bowl is kind of like you jump in for a little while and then on console?
I meant on console you have more dedicated players,
Oh, you think PC
multiplayer
is less
based.
than okay?
Well, you have, well, it's kind of hard to see the difference because I don't play it on PC, but
Right.
it's just a feeling I have, that the console players are more dedicated.
And by the way, Red's spending while we were talking, Rez has managed to slip up that wide zone and try to create a wall. He's got almost everybody walled off outside of the range except for this one blodging Jeff 2.0. And
Yeah.
Jeff can get a
So
clear
what
hit on
does
this catcher. That'll be a
Mojo
two-die
needs?
block.
Yeah. So what does Mojo needs to do here? He just needs to start pressuring the Elves down down to his own touchdown line.
Yeah.
So Rest get afraid to have man injuries, so he just have to try to force him to score now. Um, this is what we talked about. If you move your pieces too far off the field, he'll just walk through.
Yep.
There's no problem for the Woodouts.
Well, and some coaches they're all right with this, right? Some coaches they're like, you know what? Screw it. You could score on me in the first 3 turns or 4 turns, and then I still have four
Yeah,
turns to push it upfield. And honestly, an undead team they get this bad rap as being slow, but they can fly when they need to. They got some ghouls. That's what the ghouls are
yeah, they
for,
have
and
the dude.
and they got the whites, and that's 3 agility, and you can do some things with that. They can move 6 and 7 spaces. So you give them 4 turns, they can make something happen. Worst comes to worst, again, you whittle down the wood elves, you crush their numbers a little bit, and then you walk into the second half with the superior advantage, and that's when you close them out.
Yeah,
And
and
Mojo's
the thing with the rain now is that it's not very good for that. And
that's
that's
true.
so.
That
Yeah,
argument becomes less
Mojo
persuasive
needs
when the rain is out.
Mojo needs to roll some good dice when he's turn up for attacking though. When you're gonna receive the ball, I mean. So
Right.
so what can Mojo do now? I mean,
He's just
will
setting
he just
himself up
try
for
to
what happens
intercept?
after he dodges out and hits that catcher. I think he's gonna get a
Yeah,
one die block on the catcher, which is not great. And because that ghoul does not have tackle, he has a 1 in 6 chance of actually bringing the catcher down. And what also sucks for him is that once he hits him, and if he gets a push, which is a 1 in 3 chance, then that catcher gets the slip and slide, aptly named, gets the deter. Oh, by the way, slip and slide also the top, if not either one of the top 3 or the top receiver in the Hall of Fame during the champion ladder. But the slip and slide has the ability to sidestep and push whichever way he wants to go. So Mojo does not use the blitz on him. Instead, he wants to move his tackle White up, so he has a 1/3 chance of knocking him down. And he gives that War Dancer Slop Heap again. He gives him the business. This time he doesn't have the option of piling on, but Slop Heap's gonna take a nap for a couple of turns anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much.
Poor little Sloppy.
Poor little Slop Heap until he's jumping into your cage and punching you in the mouth.
That's the most dangerous player he has. You should try to attack that player at every opportunity.
Absolutely.
I
to punish him.
I felt what's it called? The piling on was a missed opportunity. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, but again, it's you never know. It could have worked out against you, where your guy, you pile on, it doesn't do anything, and then all of a sudden, Rez drops in 5 guys to surround your piling on guy and fouls him, and you're out of the match. So,
exactly.
we'll never know what the right answer was unless he had actually done it.
That's true. That's true.
And marking the ball carrier was a good idea. I like that, except that Rez is, I will say this again, Rez is MML trained. In the MML, we love the surf. And I don't know if Rez wants to risk using his catcher as part of a surf setup, but that ghoul could be going into the stands. And then the rest of these Welves could come in and screen him up.
Yeah, I think he can easily screen this off and get the surf.
It's risky because then your catcher stays in the same spot, and then that tackle White, Brian, is still in the area, and that's what Mojo was doing. He was bringing him over before. He didn't want to take the big hit. He didn't want to make the big blitz and one-die block with Jeff because he knew the odds were down. But Brian is a game changer, so unless he's able to make sure Brian can't get over to the ball carrier, surfing may be a bad idea at this point. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to 1-die block surf him anyway. Nah, he's gonna come in with the 2-die block. And why surf him when you can just knock his punk ass down for a couple turns? Jeff 2.0 is gonna think about what he did and lay there.
Poor little ghoul. He was like,
poor little nasty ghoul who wanted to bite his face off.
I slip and slide, and I'd be a Welves. Someone came up to him and said, "Nope,
no,
you're not allowed to be one of our."
That's a good teammate, man. He protects his ball carrier. That's your powerful guys got to look out for your little guys, and the ball carrier slip and slide is not exactly a little guy anymore with a 3 strength. But he's definitely not somebody you want taking a lot of hits. I'm sure Rez doesn't want that. And, blind Welf Samurai, that's what he does. He comes in there. You underestimate him because he's blind. But then his Daredevil-like, Daredevil the character-like powers allow him to make you out wherever you are. And then next thing you know, you're over there seeing stars laying on the ground like a crumpled piece of trash and wondering what happened. we have the guy I call the Godfather of the MML, Preach Gamer. Actually, he's widely known now as the Godfather of MML. He's in the chat, and he is also torn. Even the guy who founded the MML, who knows that Rez is representing the MML, has trouble really cheering for Rez. He's like, yay Rez, but also boo the Wood Elves. Wood Elves are either the most loved or most hated race in Blood Bowl.
Yeah, it's a mix between those two. I mean, if you love them, you really love them. If you hate them, you really hate them.
Yeah.
There's no in between with the Wood Elves.
And when you hate them, that wood elf hate really just doesn't let you. It almost blinds you to being able to, feel the love for your league mates that play them. You're like, I want this guy
Yeah.
to do well, but also screw those damn elves.
You see what Rez did here now? He put one of his catcher next to
Dirty
the
player,
yeah.
smart.
So
Yep,
yeah,
very smart. He'd
exactly.
rather that
And
the
very good
dirty
play.
player takes a swing at McGreasy than I like that name, McGreasy, than Slop Heap. I like that most of us in the Champion Cup, even coming from different leagues, by the way, we have our little chat that we started, the PSN chat with everybody in the Champion Cup, and it's a bunch of creative guys. I really like that, like a lot of us named our teams, named our players, knowing that this isn't like a perpetual league where you really get to keep this team or keep going on with it, but we took pride enough to like say, hey, this team is representing me for now, so. I'm gonna name these guys, and it's fun announcing games like that where people take the time to do that. And look at Luther
Oh,
using his Jedi mind tricks, and I'm
mm,
not sure if Rez considered the possible impact of that. Then again, I'm wondering
the
why he didn't try that on the Blind Wolf Samurai. I guess because the Blind Wolf Samurai wouldn't be able to look into his eyes.
I think the ghoul with sure hands will try to blitz the ball now
Right.
with
That's what I'm
one
saying
blood
is why didn't
from two
he?
games left.
Did he get the word answer? Or did he get the? Oh, he did get the word answer. I'm sorry, the animation
Yeah, he
wasn't
did
showing
get
right.
one answer.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So he's gonna come through the end zone now. I thought he hit the guy with guard. I
Yeah.
think you're right. I think he's gonna take. He's considering whether it's smart or not.
He will get surfed if he fails, I think. No, he won't. He have sidestep, so it should be okay.
I don't know. I don't know, Diner.
Mm,
You know why? Because that and I've only done this a couple of times, but I take special satisfaction in surfing a guy with sidestep. If he puts himself in that bad position, he
yeah,
could find he gets there's enough wood elves over there. He could find himself surrounded and surfed.
yeah.
There's a
Whoa,
double
that's
skull.
bad.
It is bad, and Mojo's trying to figure out: do I want to conserve the rerolls? No, I'm gonna go with the here and now, and all he gets is a big blue arrow.
Yeah.
That hurts though. Having to spend that reroll now means you don't have one when you make that long trek to go for it block.
hmm And he might not go for the block now
No, yeah, I
because
don't
of
think
that.
he will. Actually, he's probably gonna. Yeah, it looks like he's moving. He's moving that guy, Oswald the Stern. That's the guy they should really be afraid of. Moving him into
Yeah.
position, and he's a threat. He's like, you better score right now, or else.
hmm
Smart. Mojo's a smart guy. I've played against him several times. He really he's the kind of guy that he'll lose, and then like when he loses, and he doesn't lose that often, but when he does, he'll go back and analyze the loss frame by frame and try to think how he could have what he could have done to make it go differently. And
Yeah,
those
he's
coaches
really
can really be
dedicated.
dangerous.
Yeah. Well,
Rostifer is in the. By the way, Rostifer pulling an upset against the number one team in the ladder earlier today, and that was Rostifer's Greenpeace pulling the upset over Stuntman Didi's the Dark Side Indians. Nobody saw that coming.
oh, he got the pow.
Wow!
He went for it. Wow, that paid off.
Ooh, Nuffle doesn't like Wood Elves either. Apparently,
But the
that ball
problem
comes
now is,
loose.
yeah, but does it really help? That,
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. This is
yeah,
temporary.
mm,
This little the hypnosis, I'm just not a huge fan of this skill, even though it's useful, like you just saw. But like that war dancer now just snaps out of it. You just got to remember to
yeah,
activate him or use him in some way. But he stops being hypnotized the second you activate him.
yeah. And it doesn't affect agility players as well as uh, lower agility.
Right.
Is that right?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're right. Actually, let's take a look at the skill while Rez is figuring out how he wants to come back from this. At the end of his move action, you make the agility roll for the player with the hypnotic gaze, and you put a -1 modifier for each opposing tackle zone other than the victims. So it's really the agility of the player with the hypnotic gaze.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it has anything to do with the agility of the opposing player. Yeah,
And
no,
it's
it's
the
not.
agility on the player that uses the ability.
Right, and then you get a -1 modifier if there's another tackle zone, like a guy standing next to him. So the fact that that guard lineman was next to him then reduces Luther's agility for the purposes of this roll down to a 3,
Hmm.
which is still pretty good, right? 67%.
Yeah, it's quite nice. And it actually did something this game, so
It did.
can't say can't say it's bad then. So
Luther has
what
a
do you
9
think?
AV, by the way, which is really good for him because I think he might take a hit here.
Yeah, you think? So what do you
Uh,
think Reznor is trying to figure out here?
I think he's putting him in a position right now. He's putting the kind of position that when he hits him with the War Dancer, right? Luther's going to have to figure out: do I want to bump into the ball and then let that bounce all over the place, potentially into a much better place for another Wood Elf, or do I want to move away from this nasty trio of guys that want to kill me?
Hmm.
By the way, that ball laying there, Luther may as well not even be standing there. You know that? That's an agility 5 lineman, the sacrificial elf 2.1 laying there, and another agility plus agility war dancer. Yeah, Luther's going into that ball. If I know no Mojo,
Mm.
Mojo's going to disrupt this. He's going to go into that ball. He's not going to pull himself away from that. Yeah. And that's what you didn't want to happen, unfortunately. It's going to go right into, unfortunately for Mojo anyway, it's going to go right into Sacrificial Elf 2.1's Waiting Hands. And, this guy, he's just normally used, like, look at his MA6 down. Like, this guy has been beat up, abused. He joined this team thinking he was going to be all about glory and scoring touchdowns and running downfield. And Rez put him on the line and said, shut up and take some hits, Sacrificial Elf.
He got
And
lied to when when he did sign his contract, I think.
yeah, no, he's like, I didn't. This nobody told me about this, and yeah, so it's not what he expected, but oh, that's gonna hurt for Luther.
Yeah,
Is gonna go down hard. It's not what he expected, and
should be
now this
fine
elf
though.
gets the ball, which he's very happy about. But something tells me he's not the guy that's gonna be running it into the end zone, much to his dismay. Luther's getting
Yeah, he
stunned.
has he well he can
This is a
cage up.
pass. This is coming. This is a pass. This isn't a cage. It, only because they have that ghoul still standing there. Wait, is the blitz is used? Yeah, the blitz is used. I'm really
Yeah,
surprised. So I don't know. Is Rez gonna try to score? No, he's not.
he will try to hold off one more turn,
Uh
perhaps.
huh. Yeah.
Now he's scoring.
Oh, okay. I was wrong. Yeah, Rez
Yeah,
likes to score.
yeah.
I
He had a
definitely
game
get
against.
the I get
Yeah,
the urge to get more SPP for your guys. I just like I'm thinking that by the time you're in the cup, like you had all of the season. Well, we had a short season, but you had a pretty long. You had 4 weeks to build up your team and just keep milking and farming SPP for your guys. So it's a little weird to me when I see somebody do something that like that benefit, like might get their guy more SPP, but risks losing the game. Because one and you're done
hmm
here. One loss and you're done.
yeah, exactly. I think it would have been quite easy to cage up again for just one more turn because now Mojo have 4 turns to score and it should be doable with the undeads and especially with Luther with strength 5.
Yeah.
He can be a passing threat, for example.
Yep.
Don't know if you want to use him as that, but
The rain could be a problem. So unless the weather clears up, I don't see the likelihood of Mojo scoring fast. But I don't know. 4 turns is a lot of time, and Mojo's definitely
mm,
capable of it. Like I said, these are two. You are watching two of the best coaches on in Blood Bowl 2 on the console that I've encountered.
yeah.
I've played somewhere close around 800, I think, on PlayStation, and I've played almost everybody I think on here. These are two that have stood out to me as being some of the best.
Yeah. I, Reznor just outplays me every time I play him. I mean, I the last game I played against him, he actually had the 200 K inducement, but something happened, so he couldn't use them. So
Oh,
when we played, it ended in a draw, but he would easily won that game with the wizard.
in the champion
Using
ladder,
the
I think I beat Reznor
no,
once.
not the yeah in the champion ladder when I played my new team, the Orcs team, against his new Widow team. So well, it ended in a draw, and I was happy. I mean,
I think I beat Reznor one time in the champion ladder with our teams. Like I think our teams that we're using now for season one, and other than that, every time we tie. Like we just
yeah,
can't. Like whatever happens, one of us could be, could score on T16 to go up, and the other one will one turn to come back. Cause we have these epic, crazy games. I have a great time playing this guy. I think we have a great group of guys that have made the cup this year. I'm really glad that we have the group that we do, and I hope this continues for next for S2.
oh yeah. The good thing about playing Reznor is that you can easily identify every mistake you do because he will
Exploit
take
it.
explode them to another level.
Absolutely.
Uh, so I think that's yeah, he's a really good coach to play against when you are decent at the game because you learn so much by playing a good coach.
Yeah. And so
And
I'm curious to see.
just thinking about the game I had against Bear, he's Skaven.
Oh, that was
It,
that was bloody, 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 man.
yeah, it was really bloody, but I felt I was so lucky that game. I mean, I felt everything went my way, kinda. I mean,
Not in the first half. You turned it around. What it looked like to us was that everything was going wrong for you at first. If you lost the one guy we were saying keys to the game, right?
yeah,
The Beer Bears team had that one nasty, nasty player that was like destroying people in the ladder. What was the name again? Do you remember the
I
name of that
can't
storm
remember it.
vermin? It's whatever that storm
Uh,
vermin was with the pylon and the claw and the mighty blow, or so it's either the claw palm and claw palm or whatever. And
yeah,
yeah, and then so we were worried about it. Was basically we were like it's that vermin against your human killer, the guy with the tackle and the I think you had pylon on the guy, a mighty blow.
I only had the guard, might blow, and tackle on the guy.
Yeah, and we
Uh,
were like that's the key matchup, and he got killed in like the first 5 turns.
yeah, the funny thing about that is I saw the opportunity to attack or to try to pow a gut runner, a rookie gut runner, to be honest. But every gut runner can score easily, so I figured, well, damn it, I really want to do this, but he will get punched after. I knew I wasn't able to screen him up, so he will get punched after. And I was thinking, yeah, he might survive. But the thing with my human team is that I have actually changed out everybody in my human team. I
Oh
mean,
well.
I have no players that actually started in the team from the beginning.
Will he pile on? Well,
Uh,
yeah, there you go. Oh, that
Hey!
may be the first time I've seen the white pylon animation. I don't know why I've never seen that
Yeah,
before, but that is
it's really good.
badass.
Yeah, it truly is. Flying
That
on
was
the.
wow. He Jimmy Superfly snookered him. Yikes.
Almost felt that it was going all out, going to follow him after.
Whew, that was whew. Heart rate went up. McGreasy is not going to be getting up next turn,
No.
and his teammates are looking over at him horrified, thinking, "I don't want that to happen to me." Oswald the Stern has struck fear in the heart of those wood elves. They don't like to get beat up like that. That's what I just
Oh,
saw. Bernie's in the chat. Bernie Buffon, my co-announcer for that match. Or no, actually, he was announcing that match. I don't think I was announcing that match. there was another team. It was actually Harry Warthog, who's in the chat, was announcing that with Stuntman Didi and Bernie, and it was Nicole Ray. Right. By the way, this has never been confirmed to me, but I feel like the Beer Bear. I think the overall theme of that team, of the Skaven team, it's called the Horny Rat God, and I think it's chicks Bernie wants to bang. If I'm not mistaken, it's just a bunch of like it's like characters. Like one of them is like April O'Neil, which I was like, where the hell did that come? That's the reporter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And who is
Yeah.
Nicole Ray again? I should probably know that, but I know the name
I
is
have no idea,
famous.
but that's funny.
If somebody in the chat knows that, tell me who Nicole Ray is. That was the dangerous Storm Vermin. Anyway, it wasn't the Storm Vermin that ended up doing all the damage. It was that Rat Ogre.
Yeah, that rather was evil maniac. I mean, he could just run around do whatever he wanted to that game.
Yeah. Awful. Awful.
Yeah,
But you
I
survived
didn't
it somehow.
play.
We were just like, we were saying whoever like comes out, whoever wins is like, man, you're gonna have some. Your next opponent needs to send the Beer Bear a bottle of champagne or something because
Yeah,
your team looked decimated, bro.
yeah, it's decimated, but still, I didn't expect to win the tournament at all. I figured the only chance I have if I buy a wizard now, I can't wait with it against Skaven. I wanted to buy the wizard the next game if possible, but I wouldn't have stand a chance without the wizard. And the wizard came to my aid at the last turn on my drive, so it
You
helped me
guys
out a
both
lot.
played it very, very well. You both, and like I was saying before, is you were getting nuffled in the beginning, and you were just, it was like you just looked like you were turtling up, and you were just trying to like, I'm just gonna take the beatings, take the beatings, take the beatings, and wait for my opening, and that's what you did. And you waited until the luck turned around, the dice turned around, and they did. Sometimes they don't, but you did the best that you could to weather the storm, and that's what put you out on top. So, but wonderful display by both of you. That was a pleasure to watch. I watched that from the beginning all the way through. I went back. I avoided the chat so I could watch it first because I was really interested. I knew that match was going to be out of control, bloody.
Yeah, I felt I had a good control on the match at the start of it, but I somehow moved my team in an awkward position on the right side of the pitch, and he could just force me into a corner, pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's
Yeah.
yeah. You don't want to do that.
It was a huge misplay by me. I should have just stayed on the middle of the pitch and wait out. So a little bit more to see where he moves his players and have more of the pitch to move around on. So that's you give and take. You learn something every game.
Yeah, and honestly, what's a mistake in one game is what wins you the game in another. You never know
Yeah,
because we play a game that involves
exactly.
dice. So you just do the best you can. And it's really easy for you and me to look at this game right now and say, oh well, I would have done this or this is the best move here, But in reality, when the clock is on you and and you're in the playoffs and you know that every move could be the one that turns, you make one bad mistake and that could be the whole game right there, and then you got to sit for another
Yeah.
hour and a half while this guy beats your entire team up. you know, it's not as easy to do it when you have something. So, announcing is like easier. You sit here, you enjoy the game. You're like, oh, that guy's dead. All right.
It doesn't matter for me. I'm just watching.
Exactly.
Yeah. I see that Reznor trying to pick on the ghouls at his opportunities, so that's good.
Yeah, you could.
If you
Both of
can
these
remove,
guys are very strategic with that. Mojo
yeah,
definitely will pick out. He has targets that he wants gone, and he'll keep throwing his guys at the best at the target he wants, not necessarily the best guy that's available. And Rez is the same way. Slop Heap definitely targeting the ghouls because he knows that they can't. Unlike every other member of the undead team, the ghouls cannot resurrect. They have no apothecary, so if you injure them, they're done. There's no saving them.
yeah. And Reznor plays a really good defense as well, so I don't see any easy opportunities for Mojo to actually move up the field and score on rest drive.
It's
I
not
don't
helping
think
that he's outmanned right now, it looks like, right?
no.
The,
And
oh, look at this Welf
well, he
sideline.
have
It is clear. There's nobody hurt over there, and we're in turn 6. That's a bad sign for the
Yeah.
Atletico Funtimes Club. That's not Funtimes for the Atletico Funtimes Club. By the way, while we got a little bit of downtime, adjusting some of the comments in the chat, Fant Fox wanted to know. Oh no, it wasn't Fant Fox. It was back to Bernie. Did I think that the mummy can kick penalty kicks if it goes to penalty kicks? If a tree can kick a field goal, so can a mummy. And Oswald the Stern is knocked out. That's a big deal. We've been talking about him. He's the guy that all those wood elves have been afraid of since he made an example out of their friend. And Rez finds his target like a surgeon.
Wow.
Goes in and fouls him
That,
out. And right now, Mojo's probably hoping that guy comes back for the second half because he's a
oh
game
yeah.
changer.
Did you buy any Bloodweiser babes for this game? Or did every inducement money go for the vampire?
It's a good question. I will check. I don't believe. I think every inducement must have gone unless he bought. Because if it was only a 410 difference, Luther costs I think 390.
390 or 430? No, that's the
Yeah, 430 is Ram Tut or whatever. So
it's 390. Yeah, but he might have some cash for his own that he might have used.
yeah, exactly. I didn't see it. I didn't see inducements. I'm gonna ask in our chat right now, and we'll see. Also, let's see some of the other things that there's a lot of good information going on. Our chat is pretty active. I like this, guys. Thank you. Keep it up. It makes our conversations even more interesting here. Even more interesting, right? Let me give myself a undercover compliment. Let's see. It's geez. There's a lot of comments in here. So I'm trying to scroll through and get to some of them while the mummy runs up and Barrett the Tyrant is going to take his pound of... Oh, he's going to, but Dorail actually dodges away. By the way, did you know, Dinar, that Dorail is one of the top 3 punching bags in the champion ladder? Yeah, he was knocked out the most. One of the top 3 most knocked out guys.
Well, yeah, had a brutal life then. It seems fine.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
mean,
maybe, I don't know if he just became a blodger or whatever, or if he's just got one of those punchable faces, but, you know, people keep picking on him.
yeah, but still he's an elf without any injuries, so that's quite well for him to
Yeah,
have that record without any
and
injuries.
still be
You
alive, right? Yeah,
usually see,
normally the people that lead in that
you
category don't
usually,
last very long.
yeah, you usually see people with minus movement or maybe a niggling or something like that, but well, not that one is totally fine. That's a lucky little lineman.
Going back to before, I was saying Rostifer, who is the coach of Greenpeace, who upset the Darkside Indians earlier, said Welf hate is still less than Dwarf hate. Do you think that's true?
Maybe. I don't know.
Dwarves can be entirely infuriating.
You know, one game I would love to see in the final is this team versus Stuntman BD's Elves. Just to see a passing play that ends like 7-6 or
Oh,
something.
Wood Elves and stuff. So, well, that's a matchup we will never see now, thanks to Rostifer.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
they
true.
can meet up in the casual ladder or something and face these teams off. Although I
Yeah,
think
if
Rez
this
said that if he wins and he gets that the player with the fan factor, he's shelving this team and nobody's touching it.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he said that. Might have been somebody else, but. By the way, Bernie Buffon and a couple of the other guys in the chat, I think it was Thunden, also pointed out. So no, it wasn't Bernie. It was Thunden, I think. Somebody said that it was Nicole Ray. Yeah, Thunden said
Hmm,
Nicole Ray's an adult performer. Supposedly, though, he can't personally confirm. He's just heard
yeah.
other people saying
No,
I need
Raph
to use
just
Google
lost the
better.
ball. Try that handoff to Luther.
Mm-mm.
Failed it. And now we'll see if the Wood Elf can take
That
advantage of
was
this.
a problem because hold on. So the Carrion Ripper catch. Who was that to Luther or to the Carrion
To
Ripper?
Luther from Kerry.
Oh, Okay, and
What's
then it
his
went
name?
back to the Carrion Ripper off of Luther. Gotcha.
Yeah,
So that's man,
Karen
that's
Ripper
risky
can
though.
take Karen Ripper.
In the
Yeah,
rain
and
and no reroll
exactly.
on him because of the loner, and he failed the
I
loner roll,
think
so he burned a reroll as well.
yes, and I have a feeling you will see his thrower just run in, pick up the ball, and throw it to the catcher and just score.
It has happened way too often with Wood Elves. It does
Yeah.
help that there is
It-
tackle zone on that catcher though, so that's only a 50% catch now because of the rain.
yeah, the thrower doesn't have dodge anyway, so you have to use a team reroll for this. And uh, and
They got to
it
clear away
helps
one
a
of these
little bit
guys.
that it rains as well. Because if he throws the ball to the catcher and try to score, the catcher actually have some issues to catch the ball.
Yeah.
I think it's a 4+ now.
You know, the other thing
It's
though
like
is
playing human.
lucky for him, and this is why I think Mojo felt comfortable doing this. Um, that he's surrounded, he's got the ball walled off. There's two tackle zones on it in the rain. Rez may try it so he's clearing a little path here, but whoever comes in to pick up that ball is going to be making. Oh, look at that sidekick. Brian goes bye-bye for the moment. Um, Whoever jumps in and tries, even with Agi 4 ability, two tackle zones in the rain, that becomes what? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's like 33% to pick it up.
With Guilty 6, no,
With
it's a
agility
4
6, you're
plus.
right, it's less. And that's, oh, there's that thrower. Yeah, 6 strikes, so he's cleared the, yeah, so 50%.
Yeah,
No, 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 more than that, right?
it's more. It's 3 plus
67.
because of the rain.
Yeah, so it's 3 times, it's
Yeah,
6 minus 3, so it's like agility 3. Yeah, that's a 67%.
yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, we could be seeing a Wood Elf touchdown.
And he does have, yeah, exactly, and he does have pass on the thrower, so he get the
He gets a
two last
reroll on the
actions
throw, he gets a
with
reroll
reroll
on the
on it. Yeah.
50% catch.
Yes. So this is doable. And you know Mojo has lost all his tackle pieces now, so he's in really bad
Oh.
shape. Uh, oh, yeah, of course.
So he's going to
He
make the
can just
long.
run in.
Oh.
He will do it the easy way, just pick up the ball, dodge one out, and just throw it down because, yeah, he can
Yeah, because the
long
rain
bomb the
doesn't
ball on
affect
a
your
3+.
throw, it just affects the catch. So now it's an easy. Oh, and he
Exactly.
slips on his way to
Oh,
the ball! The turf is wet!
oh,
But the extra training he did this week gets him right, and Sexius Rexius, rather, makes a long pass. Now it is 2-0. This game's getting out of control. Out of control.
oh my, oh my. Well, it was excited for a second there.
The silver lining in this crowd for Mojo is that they're going to get the ball back after the half. So if the undead
Yeah.
can run downfield and score fairly quickly and bash some elves on the way in doing that, then this is a ball game again. So don't count Mojo out.
Yeah. I think Mojo just have to go for it now. It doesn't matter if the elf scores a 3-0. I think you just have to go for the 2-1-2.
Yeah, and look at that Welf sideline. It's just this is the cleanest you'll ever see a Welf sideline. There's no dirty wood elves laying there on the side, crumpled up, covered in blood and snot and dirt and feces and their own urine. This is what you normally see on a Welf sideline, but that one is just clean. There's if it wasn't raining, there would be tumbleweeds floating across that sideline. That's how empty it is.
Yeah, I haven't really paid attention to the pows for Mojo, but I think he lack a few pows here and there. It have been more like trying to hit a blood shoe, for example, or when he tries to hit only the guy with the dodge, he just get pushes or stumble, so it
Yeah,
doesn't help
and
at all.
Rez has done a great job of not letting him get a lot of hits. Period.
Oh yes, that's what what he's good at. So. He does have those elves for it, though. Those special elves that's called the sacrificial elves.
Yeah.
And he have his what can he call Dorile, the lineman that has taken enough punches and hits
Oh
to
yeah,
give
that guy. What's his
to
name?
lifetime.
Doyle, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Dorail.
It's
Dorail.
incredible that he
Because that's like
actually has
Daryl.
that zone.
That's the wood elf version of Daryl. It's Doral. Doral.
Dorile.
Dorail.
Oh, well, this is an uphill battle for Mojo now. Well, I mean, it has been from the start, but now it's really out of shape.
Yeah, that's yeah. But again, if he can, I don't know. There could be a two-turn touchdown. You never know. If he got a
Oh, you
two-turn
never know.
touchdown and then came back in the second half with the ball, we could be watching a ball game. So I wouldn't count Mojo out of it yet. Again, he's an excellent coach. The only person that can really make sure to take him out of this game right now is himself. If he gets really frustrated and just starts saying, you know what, screw it, I'm going to beat up some elves and take revenge.
Yeah,
I think the
I
game is
believe.
still doable.
Yeah. If you were in this position, would you use your sure hand to be a catcher? To just go total potato and try to take the punch and survive and then score? I mean, because if he throws the ball to, I don't know, he, if the kick is deep, he is really, really in trouble.
It's a good idea. Hey, oh, look at that! Nice weather. No,
No,
this is you want your short hands to pick
not
the
out.
ball there. Now it's easy, right? Now it's an easy answer. Well, let me tell you now
Yeah.
that I know what I would do. No, I think the first thing you got to do right now, turn 7, you got to get a guy down the field
Yeah.
because you fail any rolls right now, you're done. You're not getting a touchdown. So I think you get several potential receivers down the field, and then pick up that ball and set up a cage or something like that, and then make magic happen in turn 8 if you can. Basically do to the Wells what they
And
would do to you.
pray to Nuffle that Rez actually do 1 of 36 with his dodges.
Yeah, yeah. I think that Mojo picked the right side to do this. I don't know. So Rez has set up his war dancers on the left side of the pitch, and then like all his guys would sidestep. Mostly all his guys would sidestep are on that side. So that means McGreasy's about to get a McAss whooping, and it's coming from Oswald again, the Oswald the Stern, who we have mentioned before, who was taken off of the pitch with a KO. And he's gonna pile on. I don't see. I'm not a fan of this,
Nice.
but
Finally.
hey, McGreasy's gone. So what do I know?
Oh,
He's
no.
gone. Rez isn't bringing. Rez the Apple ready to fix him, and Rez stops him and says, "No, no, we need to save that Apple in case something worse
I
happens later
think
on."
Rez is happy that there's only been one injury this drive, so
Yeah.
well, for now at least, we will
You know,
see. There
but the
are
problem
one
is
more
that
punch at least.
we talked about to stay in the game, right? You gotta outscore, right, the other side. So you needed multiple receivers in 2 turns down the field, and now you're putting yourself in a position. I guess you can send those 2 ghouls flying. So I guess
Yeah,
it's not too
that's
bad, and
what he
maybe it's
needs to
worth it.
do.
It's a trade-off. You didn't score, but you took an important guy off the pitch for the Wood Elves. Again, who am I to second guess, right? But
Mm,
you could at least one of those ghouls needs to get down the field ASAP before more dice are rolled. That's my opinion.
yeah, and he he doesn't need to be afraid that the Wood Elf will score this drive either, because they don't have the movement or the time
No,
save.
yeah. The only way they could have been able to do that
So,
is with a blitz, I think. I mean,
yeah.
well, you never know. It's a good chain push. No, no, they don't have the personnel.
True.
Right. They don't have the personnel right now. I don't
Very,
think. It's very unlikely. If he could figure out,
very
if
unlikely.
Mojo can figure out how to chain push, I mean, if Rez can figure out how to chain push for the touchdown on turn 8, given the setup now, man, he just needs to take the whole tournament.
Yeah. So, potato plate him, I think.
It looks like he's setting up to do that. I am a bigger fan of the receivers, but I definitely get the
He
value
can't
in this. It's a
side.
lot easier to have the ball downfield already than try to pass it into him
Yeah.
when he's surrounded. Yeah, that's what we're seeing. Potato play with a
If
limited screen.
yeah, if he was thinking about side cage, that would be disastrous though, because of the leap and
Yeah,
all the agility and everything. So
yeah.
you can't really do that either.
You just got to go for the potato. This guy doesn't have sure hands either, so the chances of him making it into the end zone are slim, very
Yeah,
slim.
exactly.
But hey, sometimes you got to just go for the potato.
The potato. That's what I was talking about a little bit earlier, that I would rather have the sidestep sure hand guy with the ball now instead of just do the risk because you know you're going to lose it now.
It's a great point.
Or it,
It is a
yeah,
fabulous. I'm with you. If it would be if that sure hands ghoul, the sure hands blodger was up that sideline right now, he'd have a much better chance. Oh, and he's a sidestepper too. He'd have a much better chance of surviving the onslaught.
yes.
Mojo still had a re-roll, so I guess he didn't want to risk failing the pickup because that would have stalled the whole thing right there. So I could get why he didn't do it. It's always easy to go, well, now that you know that you didn't fail the pickup,
Yeah,
that.
yeah, of course.
So
But it's a risk that you have to just figure out what you would like to do. I mean, there's no easy answer on it.
right, yeah, I don't see him making. Rez is gonna wall off all avenues here for him to go anywhere.
Yes.
But you never know. You never know.
You never know. You can roll 3 6s in a row if you want to. If Nuffle is with you.
This is for all the marbles. I like the permanence of this match. If you're just tuning in, this is the PlayStation. This is the Cabal Vision PlayStation Championship. Again, we've been waiting for this. Console players have been complaining that our PC brothers get all the attention from Cyanide and Focus, and they get cool things like the World Cup and all that stuff, and we get shafted. So it turns Focus and Cyanide have been listening, and they finally brought the PlayStation Championship. Or they brought the Blood Bowl Championship, Blood Bowl 2 Championship to PlayStation, and that's what we are witnessing here. This is 16 coaches that have made it into the cup itself, and 2 of them are playing for the chance to get out of round 1 now. And the ball loosened up from Buffon, who I assume must be an homage to our esteemed playoff coach Bernie Buffon, who I think is in the chat as well. And I don't know if this is a tribute because he hurt somebody on Mojo's team, or that's another cool little culture thing, Blood Bowl culture you see in a lot of different leagues. When somebody's guy gets hurt or killed or something by somebody on an opposing team, Blood Bowl player will often name the player that replaces them, after the guy, after the coach that killed him.
Yeah. Oh, he just punted the ball. That's. I think I would. Well, get a free hit on a war dancer now. So.
Is that ball out of weight? And you can't, if you use hypnotize, you can't move and then throw,
I
right?
think dodge out, throw to the ghoul, and just score.
No, it's at the end. Yeah, it's at the end
Sounds
of
easy.
it. Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
right. I mean, I think you maybe have to take that chance, right? If you're the
Yeah, you
ghoul,
need
you
to.
dodge out, you go for the end zone, and Luther picks up the ball and makes the throw.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a
but
good
he
punt by
should really.
Rez. Maybe he should have thrown
I,
it back the other way. I don't know.
I
I don't know,
think he
man.
should have. He should have thrown it somewhere where it can't be picked up again.
I think there's
Because you
only one
can
real
long bomb the
chance of
ball on a
scoring.
3+.
Yeah. I think so. Right now, this guy Jeff 2.0 can go right for the end zone, make it, and frankly, so Luther can dodge out 83%, pick up that ball 83%, and the throw's probably a 50% throw. So I think you leave it in the hands of Nuffle. I mean, a lot of things have to go down. There is a reroll available for the football club Atletico Funtimes,
Yeah.
and he's not going to make Luther dodge. He's going to push Blind Wolf Samurai away.
This is actually doable.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not a terrible throw.
No, it's not. I mean, you have a 3+ dodge to get to the end zone, and it's a 4+.
And it's a 3+ dodge because you might have to use that reroll because you're tackle player.
Yeah, but the thrower have loner anyway, so it's not. You just have to use the reroll where it's needed, also.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about to get the receiver into the end zone. Normally, it would be a 2+ roll with an automatic reroll, but because of the presence of Slop Heap and his tackle ability,
Yeah.
there's no reroll. There's no automatic reroll on that, and you can't even really hit him because then he can become even more dangerous. So while we were talking, this guy's making things happen, and you're gonna see Jeff 2.0 get into the end zone, hanging out by the goalpost, and he's throwing his hands up in the air, waving them, saying, "Give me the ball, Luther! Give me the ball!"
Oh man.
And Luther says,
This.
"Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will be right there."
Oh,
Here
don't
comes
roll a
Luther.
one. Do not roll a one.
He picks up the ball. He throws the ball. And
So now
Mojo's
he's
trying to
trying to figure
decide.
out if he wants to be.
It is an accurate throw.
Wow.
We have a game again, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay.
Look at that. Jeff
Wow.
2.0 scores a touchdown, kicks the ball up, does a little soccer move, puts the ball down, and attacks the cameraman. Oh, that's vicious.
Man,
Poor
didn't
cameraman
see
laid
that
out there
coming.
on the ground. All he was trying to do was get a shot, and Jeff 2.0 decided to celebrate by taking a bite out of him. He wanted his reward for the touchdown, and the cameraman
And
was that
now
reward.
Mojo can breathe easily now and just punch himself up the field and try to get the 2-2 and go to overtime.
Yeah, and try to inflict the attrition on the Wood Elves that he's pretty much unable to really do. But like I said, do not count
exactly.
Mojo out. Mojo's a good coach, and now you see why. This we're watching some of the best go at each other. I'm really happy I'm announcing this match.
Yeah, it's been extremely fun to watch.
Yes, sir. Our chat is active as hell, man. 21 people in it, but everybody's posting a lot. I love it. Great stuff,
That's good.
guys. So far, just going through the chat, I've learned some new terms. I've learned about Nicole Ray and who she really is. I learned that NSFW means not suitable for wife. So it's somebody's Twitch died. It's not my Twitch. Hopefully the broadcast has been. Yeah, I don't think we lost my broadcast.
Good. Well, when you can see that Mojo has his entire team back now, so this is just a fresh starter pretty much, and Rest is actually one player down, strength 3 catcher. So if Mojo can start making those injuries, this game will look really good for him.
Yes, absolutely. And again, the key to that is this guy Oswald the Stern, who finally decided to wake up in the last 2 turns and start rocking people like he's been doing in the C ladder itself before we got to the playoffs.
Yeah. I was a bit afraid that Mojo didn't realize his white wear back, so you finally put him out on the field. So that's good. That's good.
Oh, I'm sure he was aware of that. Man. You
He
don't
needs
miss
all
that.
the tackle he can get. Yeah.
I'm sure he was missing him. Yeah, so it looks like what I'm seeing, by the way, I think that Rez posted before. Yeah, Luther was the only one who took he was the only inducement. There were 20 left on the table before Luther, 20 left on the table that Mojo didn't spend extra money on. I don't know if I'm a fan of spending my team's money, big on one match really early. I get the whole like win every game at all costs thing, but not having money and then as you found, wait, didn't you spend some money today? You took the Wizard, right?
Yeah, of course I took the Wizard.
You spent 150K of personal cash on your Wizard, and then you took all of those injuries.
It won me the game. Hey, it won me the game. I mean, it was the only chance I had. Without the Wizard, I would be chanceless. I mean,
that's funny because we thought you were the favorite to win going in.
Not
Not even based on coaching ability. We thought your team was better equipped to win that game.
Yeah, but Bear Bear is a better coach than I, so I
don't know. You guys both did very well. It's very humble of you, but watching both of you play, you guys both did very well.
Yeah, well, I guess we did very well, but still, Bear has been beating me left and right in the Champions League and in every other ladder I played in. So this was one of the first time I actually beat him. So I was happy with that, and it happens in the knockout round.
You get it when it counts. That's even more dangerous. So you're what we call a gamer. You step up
Yeah.
when everything's on the line.
Yeah.
That's funny. I think if Bernie, I don't know if Bernie's still in the chat, but he was mentioning before about the interception in the Dark Side Indian game that was unreal. So I got to only watch the first half of that or the beginning of that because I got called away earlier today. But did you get to watch that game at all? The Dark Side Indians versus Greenpeace?
No, I haven't seen it. I think I was sleeping at the time.
I think, well, what I saw was Stuntman Didi scored in like the first two turns, and then the Greenpeace came back and managed to tie it up, and then Didi went back, and then it got, I think the Greenpeace scored, went up 2-1, like at the very end, and then Didi came super close to tying it up, and there was a final like interception that stopped what should have been a touchdown. I think is what I
Yeah.
understand happened.
So it was a really close game then.
All of these games have been sick, man. We haven't had a blowout yet, I don't think, right? In the Champions
No,
Cup.
no, not that I have seen at least. I'm glad that is. I'm glad that is that way because it's quite boring to sit through a game like this and
Yeah.
just waiting to lose. But still, when you're playing this kind of game, you
Uh-oh.
will do everything possible to win the game. You will take
True.
every opportunity, like Mojo did on round 8 last drive. He saw the opportunity, he took it, and it worked out just fine.
You miss 100% of the swings you don't take, right?
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, when we were talking, Sacrificial Elf 3.2 lived up to his name, and the Mummy just took care of him, and he's gonna join McGreasy over
Yeah.
in that little critically hurt, walking wounded corner over there, or not
I
walking
think I
wounded.
helped him out with sacrificial elf counting a little bit. With,
Yep. So
I
now,
think most of
so
us have.
if Mojo can get maybe one more, I always say as a rule of thumb at the half, you want to come in at the half up by three players on the Wood Elves,
Yeah,
to kind of have a good chance of winning. And even then, you're not really in an advantage. That's just keeping par for the course. So he's at two,
Wood
and
elves
he'd be a little late,
are
but
starting. Yeah, Wood elves starting to get in trouble when they can't really screen off their star players anymore. You
yeah,
have to keep the players that really matters and just try to go into survival mode if you start losing more bodies out on the pitch.
yeah, absolutely. And that's like so, and that's exactly what you've been saying is Rez uses these sacrificial elves exactly in that manner, and the less of them there are, the more likely Slop Heap and this guy Blind Wolf Samurai and even Slip Inside are likely to take hits, and that could be
Yeah.
disastrous. The red die block on the tree, Fluff and stuff, and the Fluff and stuff just kind of laughs it off as this zombie tries to push him. And if you've ever watched The Walking Dead, you'll know that zombies just can't get past trees. They get hung up on them. You can run to the other side of a tree. The zombie will forget you're there, and then you can easily run up behind them and stab them in the head.
I think Mojo Noah is testing out his new survival guide on the tree.
Yeah.
See if it works with his zombies.
And I will repeat, this is a very, very risky tactic of surrounding the tree in the way that he's doing. I'm just not a big fan of committing all these players to that tree. Because as you see, Mojo surrounds the tree, and watch what Rez does is just go around all the players that are tied around the tree. You may not
Yeah,
even see this tree hit back. Fluff and stuff may just sit there and enjoy tying these various frustrated undeadites up.
I guess Wes is trying to think about how we can screen off these two ghouls at the bottom here.
Yeah, from the ball.
To make it, yeah, and perhaps get on the ball side of those ghouls as well.
Right.
It might be doable with the blitz and a leap. He's playing safe or safe-ish, I think.
He's
but
keeping it
he
back. Yeah,
will
and
put some
I've said
pressure
this
on the ball
before.
for sure.
In announcing some other matches, I've said this before that these opportunities of like when you catch a player alone back there by himself, or especially like when it happens with a blitz sometimes or a perfect defense, like you think, oh no, I have this opportunity, I need to take it, I need to commit, I need to throw all these players back there, and then what you end up doing is opening yourself up for a nasty counter strike. So
Yeah.
beware of these so-called opportunities. Sometimes they are Trojan horses.
One thing that is quite hard as the wood elf is to, from my perspective, is to force your opponent to score early sometimes. If the undead gets to huddle up and make a huge cage, like a diamond cage or whatever, they can just enjoy their time on the pitch, and the wood elf can't really do anything.
Yep.
So the earlier Mojo Nova scores, the happier Reznor will be, because he can score so easily in 1 or 2 turns.
Nice.
So pushing around the zombies a little bit, and the tree will probably do nothing. Just stand there and
Yep. We keep
soak up the mummies.
locking both of these mummies and a zombie in.
Yep.
And yeah, that's just exactly what he's gonna do. By the way, I heard Squiggy 1981 saying in the chat that he can confirm that without giving details, obviously, about Nurgle, but he can confirm that several console players were invited to participate for the first time in the Nurgle beta. Um,
Nice.
yeah, and as you guys know, Sam T and I are both moderators slash admin for the PS4, and we weren't invited for that, so I'm gonna have to ask about that. What the hell? Where's my ticket? I don't
That
think
was mean.
cross-platform play is really. I don't think it's in the near future. This is not based off of what I've seen, but hey, who knows?
I think if they're gonna start with cross-platform, it will have something to do with money and yeah, bigger stuff, corporations and
You
everything.
know, and this
Because
is kind of where my hope is, though, too, right? The more that the PlayStation Championship builds up, right, and then and now the bigger crowds we get. Now that we have like, we're getting more of a PlayStation's getting some more respect or notoriety. And we've been kind of corresponding, like VG Purist has ducked into some of our other chats here, and these are guys that we've had discussions with the Sage on the forums and stuff like that. Like the PC guys are starting to know the PlayStation guys, and that's healthy. That's good. The more that happens, I think the demand starts to increase to see like, hey, what happens
mhm,
if we face ReznorRulesYou off against Lupac? In
the
this
the
cross-platform
bigger the
play.
player base, the better, right?
What's that?
The bigger the player base, the better. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, it would be so very sweet to actually have the cross-platform because then I would be a bad coach again, I think.
No,
I
that's a.
can't say that for sure, but
I'm sure. I'm
I was
sure you
pro
would do fine, man.
yeah, maybe.
Um, but
Wow.
it would be interesting, and but I do suspect that the the big names on PC might find that there are some console players, a significant amount of console players that can give them some pretty good games and a good run for their money, even though they're not the famous big names that have made their reputations on PC.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that too. And it will be a very positive experience to have that uh, for us. So now Mojo can easily cage up and be kind of safe, I think.
Yep, this is good. I mean, he's
Yeah,
playing textbook.
yeah. But he have a free shot on the War Dancer, the the War Dancer with agility 5 if he wants to. But does he? Does he? Yeah, he can use the zombie or a ghoul to give the assist. And no, he can't because of the guard. I didn't see the guard. There are so many skills on the
Yeah.
pitch.
Sorry, I'll take the skills off, bro. People were yelling at me about that earlier today. I like to.
Yeah,
I've gotten to the point where I used to really hate it. It was really distracting to me. But now I keep the skills cam. Like when I play, I keep my skills up all the time because
yeah, I
it's.
can't play without it because then you have to look at every piece and remember everything they have. And once you reach around 1800, 2000 TV, there are so many skills and so many different way people make their characters. So you can't really remember them all.
Yeah. I don't. And so you said you started on tabletop. By the way, you're kind of a unicorn, man. Because a lot of people nowadays, I mean, we're in this video game. Oh wait, Luther with a nasty right hook, and then he adjusts his sunglasses like that's right. This is what I do. And
Oh, this is good. This is good.
Oswald the Stern. I can guarantee you, there's going to be. I can almost guarantee there's going to be a pylon now.
Flying white, flying
That
white.
yeah, that is such a badass animation. That's how I'm going to go to sleep every night, just
Oh,
like this.
no,
Oh no, no
that's
need to
good enough.
pylon.
No,
Unless you want to try to
that was
drive the point
huge.
home, which I think would be excessive and unnecessary, and risking it turns into a
Oh,
stun.
I think Mojo is feeling good now.
Yeah,
It should be.
this is what he was hoping to accomplish in the first half, and he didn't. And it's a little late now, but um, yeah, look at that. The zombie,
A
they're
lot of
just.
red guys have been thrown in the middle there. I like that.
Dude, this is what Reznor wanted out of his tree. He's fluffing stuff is tied up two mummies and a zombie,
Yeah,
and
but
this is what.
Reznor now doesn't have the punch to actually go cage diving anymore. So if Mojo just play it safe now, he can turtle up the field
Yep.
and feel good
Also,
about
quick
it.
reference back to the chat. They were asking about the game that Bernie solo casted before. The Dark Side Indians match versus Greenpeace. If you want to find that, that is on my Twitch and my YouTube. So you go the same Twitch channel you're watching now. You go to my past videos. It should be on there. I also uploaded it to YouTube permanently, so it's youtube.com/Serious Jest. Bernie did us. I had to leave and go somewhere, so I just left it rolling. And Bernie freaking did a great job solo casting. And if you guys ever watch Colin Cowherd. He used to do the Herd on ESPN. He's got his own show now on FSN where he actually has kind of a co-host. But Colin Cowherd had just the unique ability to just talk by himself on subjects and be like almost like a monologue for just like an hour on all the sports stuff that was going on. And I always thought that was really hard to do just as a solo announcer. Bernie just did a really good job. I was watching the replay and just like getting hype along with him. So really good job, Bernie.
Reznor has finally realized that he is in huge trouble, so he's putting all the pressure he can on the ball now. So no, it's
Absolutely.
actually not looking that good for the Undead. So I'm excited to see what the Mojo can do here.
So it looks like from the chat, the Darkside Indian game ended with an interception from Eldril, Sidewinder, who had the pass block, and so maybe that wasn't factored in. Didi doesn't care about interceptions. Didi just airs the ball out, and he's like, screw it. You know what? Try to stop me. I'm going to go for mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lou said
Perhaps
I'm not that special. Sam and I aren't that special. We don't get the Nurgle invites. I'm gonna post about this. Damn it! I'm furious. I want my Nurgle ticket.
it should be doable to create a good cage here again. Get all those elf away from the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is definitely the elves have committed to cage breaking right now, and
Yeah.
are they gonna? Oh, Oswald the Stern is gonna make them pay for it.
He has smelled blood and he wants more.
Yeah, he likes the taste of it, and if at first you don't succeed, try again. That's like I said, I'm laying down every night to
Wow.
go to sleep like that. Uh-oh. Blind Welf Samurai, injured, badly hurt. Will we see him again? Nope, we will not see him again. Is the app already used?
No, it's not used
No.
yet.
Okay, Rez is comfortable with only one word answer potentially coming back. Yeesh,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well, we have He only needs his thrower and catcher, and he's fine pretty much. But he needs at least 3 players to field to be able to play the game. So
Yeah, yeah.
it might
It's
come
funny
to
you
that
said that number. I think
actually.
3 is the number you need for Wood Elves to still be dangerous.
Yeah, but if you're less than 3 players, you can't place enough player on the loose, and then you concede the game automatically. Isn't that the rule for it?
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
If you have less than 3 players to put on the pitch, you automatically concede the game.
No, no,
Isn't
no,
that
no, no.
correct?
I think it's none. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? I thought it was you had to have no players
I
left.
might I might be a bit confused about the rulebook. Um, I've been reading for the tabletop. It might be old
Oh
rules.
well, yeah, Cyanide has different rules sometimes than the tabletop does. But I definitely know it's
Yeah.
not a concede. It's not an automatic concede. I think. I think they skip you 2 turns. I think, and then give you a free touchdown.
Ah, okay.
If you can't, but it's not. I don't think you have to have 3. I think it's if you don't have anybody come back on the pitch. But I could be wrong
Yeah.
about that. It might be 3. I don't know if anybody in the chat knows that. By the way, Fan Fox, I'm just going back to some of these old chat posts that drive the point home. Probably too much at stake with the vampire nearby. I see what you did there. I like it. I'm a fan of puns. Yeah, and so apparently there's a bunch of like back and forth between. They're talking in the chat also about a bunch of back and forth between Jimmy and Sage, Jimmy Fantastic and Sage, 2 PC players, and what the fallout. Well, I'm glad we don't have that kind of beef in on the console, at least not openly, where people are doing stuff like that. Let's just come on, man. Just play a game, bro. Fat Fox says he thinks you can concede the game if you have less than 3 players in tabletop. And Squiggy says you can concede, but less than 3 players on the field. You can concede, but only at the start of your own term. You don't at the own or your own turn. You don't lose your MVP or winnings. I think they're talking about tabletop. I don't think that's implemented in the Cyanide version though.
No, I've never experienced it, or that people have less than 3 players to have put on the pitch after a drive. So I'm not sure about it. I've never seen it before when I've been playing Blood Bowl, and after 450 games or whatever I have, it's weird that I haven't seen it yet because I played a few bashy orc teams. So
Yeah. Oh, man, you never know, man. Those bad days you have. I don't remember the last time I saw somebody couldn't field 3. Like since the patch update. I'd seen it definitely before that update where they started requiring, where they added that rule.
yeah,
Um, it looks like, by the way, um, I believe that after this match, we got to confirm, but we may have another match coming up in the championship again, and this one would be between my co-admin for the cup and for the sea ladder period, Sam T, who I actually will credit with, I just was, lucky enough to be given the opportunity to help out on the admin side. But the guy who really pushed for the Champion Cup to come to PlayStation is Sam T 2806, who you know from the Blood and Tears League. And he's one of the founders of that league as well. And he'll be facing off later on today against Pyrenees, the team coached by Gasol Emal. And Sam T's team is called the Blood and Tears Folks. And you'll see
well, I
some of
have
our
to
names
say
on there,
that
right?
the Norse team looks in really bad shape.
The
Uh,
Pyrenees?
yeah, he looks like he had been taking a good beating.
Oh, yeah, that happens with the Norse, man. Glass cannons, and if they catch you on they catch you on a certain day, they'll wreck you. But over time, that AV7 does eventually give way, as Reznor is finding
Yeah.
out this match.
And it was bad. He had a decent enough team before the Champions Ladder, but I think he lost it in one of his last game before the knockout round began.
You
So
know,
he was
it
a little bit unlucky with those injuries, but he might pull through. Who knows?
It's
It's
a
a good
good
player
point,
as
right?
well. So
Because in the latter, like you think, oh, grind, grind, grind. That means my players just keep improving, and I'll keep having this awesome team. But the more you play, the more you subject your players to possibly, getting permanent stat downs. And you'll see, in the cup, we have various players who used to be amazing and now have been like cut down a notch. They're not as great, and they got some bloat now because of the injuries and stuff like that. And you think like maybe you played a few
yeah,
games too many.
yeah, exactly. And the lower the AV you have, the more risk you take pretty
Uh
much
huh.
each game.
I mean, I'll say
Yeah.
with my
So
chaos team, the South Park Cowboys, I definitely there is more skills I wish I had. There's some areas I wish I developed a little more, but it's also probably good that I'm able to walk into the playoffs with everybody completely fresh and no injuries.
yeah.
It was a
So
good
Mojo
trade-off.
just moving around his cage and should be fine.
Yeah, because honestly, there are not very many Wood Elves left to do anything about it.
Nope.
With the
And
War Dancers gone, you can't leap into the cage anymore.
we will probably see a new blitz from Oswald again to try to remove as many elves as possible with
Yes,
highest
absolutely.
chance as possible.
I do know Mojo likes to create one killer player and just keep doing everything with like just creating major damage and utilizing his blitz with that guy and then ducking him behind cover so you can't counter at that guy. So you can expect to see a lot of Oswald continue to happen.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised they were finally able to get those players free from the tree. Uh-oh. And now we're seeing Sacrificial Elf 2.1 becoming the object of Oswald's affections. He manages to survive one turn. And he doesn't follow
uh,
up.
yeah,
No, because
that,
he's gonna chase after the ball. No,
yeah,
he's
it does
not. He
follow
is
up.
gonna follow up. He
Yeah.
wants blood. He doesn't want. He's trying to get rid of all these Agi 5 stat ups so that when Reznor inevitably gets this ball back and tries to, I mean, Reznor at the very least is gonna get the chance to one turn to win the game and not let it go into overtime.
Yeah.
So I like this by Mojo. He's trying to make sure he's strategically taking out everybody who can make that one turn more likely to happen. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
there's a lot of those guys on the field. So I don't know if he's gonna be able to take out all of them.
Well, if it takes how many injuries does he have? He had three injuries now and one KO. So I don't know, two more injuries and
Yeah, two more
Mojo
injuries. It
should
starts
be
to
in
look
shape
really
to win
bad.
this game. Yeah.
We're still a long way out away from win, is my opinion.
Yeah. We
The
are.
winner is still not. Yeah, like even with 5 players off the pitch,
There we
Rez is
go.
still up a touchdown. So
Yep.
we're a long way off from that. I don't know, but definitely 2 more players off this pitch, and the oh look at that. That
Yeah.
has to be frustrating. Mojo did everything
Yeah.
he could, built up his cage. He built a little, an open cage. He couldn't get everybody around there, but he really minimized the risk to his ball carrier. And after he goes to all the trouble to do everything that he could, remove the
Mm.
players from the pitch, the Wood Elves just jump in there and make it look like he might as well potatoed that guy up the sideline. And this
Yeah.
is one of the guys you
Yeah.
don't want to have the ball. Slip and slide he's not a thrower, but he can throw it.
He has agility 5, so shouldn't be any problem. I mean,
Yeah.
this was looking so good for them that just a few rounds ago, and now you see with Wood Elf the game changes so fast. You have to be on your, your top through the entire game, at least when you play against Reznor, because he will exploit everything you do wrong. If he
Absolutely.
sees opportunity,
Uh-oh.
he will take it, and most likely he will complete it as well, because his players are really, really good.
There's a punching bag door rail again, trying to dodge free and manages to run his face into the ground.
Yeah,
This
he
is a
will take
problem,
a
though.
short nap.
This is a problem because slip and slide is within range of a
Yes,
blitz. Yeah, by
with tackle.
yeah. Uh-oh. So his
We'll probably see a reroll here, so should go down. But the bounce is quite exciting
by the
because
way, let me
if
ask
the
you this
bounce.
really quick.
Hmm?
Do you think that moving Jeff there was a little premature? I feel like he could have held on to him, loosened the ball up, like to move the mummy into place, got the two-die block from Brian, and then used Jeff to go at the ball. I guess unless he's
Potentially
thinking that
pick up the ball again. Yeah,
a
yeah,
carry and
probably.
ripper.
Might be that Mojo realized that now.
Yeah, but just in case, I mean, you never know. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it might be that he's trying to put extra pressure, but the sidestep makes it so easy to just dodge away after anyway. So
Right, which is why
he can't.
I'm more of a fan of setting the guys that are gonna come and mark him if he's still standing after you hit him, like after he's already made his sidestep commitment, rather than you
Yeah,
moving and then letting him figure out what's best for him. But
that
I
makes
guess he's
sense. Yeah.
he's he probably just wants to make sure he puts the tackles on there in case something goes wrong, like he fails to go for it or the two die block doesn't work the way maybe comes up double skulls and he can't re-roll it or something. So I get it. He's playing extra safe, and he's still
Mm.
got the other ghoul hanging around there who has dodge and sidestep and sure hands most importantly. So
And well, the I don't know if you can call it a scoring threat, but the elf that is left next to Oswald, he only have movement 6, so he can't really outrun Oswald as well.
let's see.
If it's trying to make a play for it.
Good call. You know
Um,
what? You know what I don't like about this display? Oh wait, hold on a second. Oh, it is successful.
yeah.
Brian is taking this ball back away from slip and slide, and the only thing I want to know is slip and slide going to survive the encounter? Is it just the ball he's going to take away, or is it also his balls? He manages to knock Slip and Slide down. The ball flies all over the place. Slip and Slide is stunned. He doesn't know where the lightning bolt came from, and it wasn't a lightning bolt. It was a nasty right hand over punch from Brian to his chin.
and every elf that actually can or have a chance to pick up the ball now are stunned, so
They're
he's
just,
safe
if
for a
anything, they're
round.
just providing an obstruction for their teammates to not be able to get to the ball. And
Yeah.
Carrion Ripper is now doesn't even have to GFI to get to the ball and has the free reroll and the short hands to pick it up. This worked out perfectly for Mojo. We definitely have a very tight match now. I don't know what, man. After the first half, we thought this was, we thought that what is it? Welves do it dirty. Welves like it dirty. Whatever the team name is, the
Well,
dirty.
do it in the dirt.
Wells do it in the
I
dirt.
think,
Whatever
uh,
the new dirty Wood Elf team that Rez is playing, uh, we thought they were running away from it with this after halftime, and totally different ball game now, man.
yeah, it is. I feel Mojo have the control, but you know how else are. They can
Yeah,
just turn the game around so easily.
very easily.
But my Wes really needs his war dancer to come back to really have a good fighting chance when it goes over to overtime.
And
I won't
moreover, you
say
really need a
it
special
goes to
kind of
overtime,
Wolf
but
BS to stop this
I
touchdown.
yeah, but it looks like overtime now. So,
Yeah, I agree with you.
but the overtime are only 8 rounds, right? And
Yes, correct. As
yeah.
as Bernie learned the
So the
hard way today.
toughs are incredibly important at the overtime. I
Hmm.
mean, every time you play against elves, you really need to win the toss, and so you can choose what you are going to do, and most likely it is to attack with the ball. If you play against elves, that is.
Absolutely.
You don't want the elves to have the ball at any time, at any point in a game. You
No.
just want to
Yeah.
see them resting on the sideline with the red cross above their head.
There you go. And there's three of them over there with the red cross, and I'm sure that Mojo's hoping the guy with the bell stays down as well.
Yeah. So Mojo are most likely just thinking about, am I actually going to foul this turn? I think.
It would really help his case out. I mean,
Yeah.
really, he could just take his school back there, wall him off with some people. I mean, yeah, take his carrion, put him over there, wall him off with some. I mean, really, he doesn't even have to do that. He's continued to. He could foul first before he moves, but he is taking a chance.
Yeah. I think I would taken a risk with Oswald and use going for it to blitz the agility 5 sacrificial elf, just to have the maximum potent of removing elf players.
Yeah. Looks like
Now we
he's.
just
Oh, he's just moving in the. I'm surprised he's not blitzing with him.
he's playing it safe,
Yeah.
so that's fine too. He doesn't want to lose the ball anymore, I think.
No.
I believe Mojo had had his heart jumping out of his chest a few times this year.
I mean, this has been seriously just like a back and forth great display again. Both of these coaches really just fighting
Yeah,
tooth and
they're
nail.
showing their true. I mean, both of them have been playing. Uh, I mean, they have done everything they need to do through the entire game, I think. I haven't seen any huge mistakes except from uh, the punting of the ball that gave Mojo the opportunity to make the game 1-2 for his before his drive.
Oof! Nasty blow. Armor's broken. I can't believe it's not butter. Is stunned.
So
Yeah, he's definitely debating that
Mo
foul.
yeah, he is, but he should also be able to cage as well.
Yeah. The only problem is that if he moves the guys first to form the cage, he actually loses assists on the
Yeah,
foul. Yeah, which you don't really want to do. But there's ways to maximize it. He's looks to be setting it up. Now, he's decided that it is more important to make sure he scores. That's
yep.
probably a good point of view.
Yeah, I think he's doing the right play, but to be able to get that thrower out of the game, that would be a huge blow for the Elves.
I
I
agree.
mean, you can have a elf on your own half of the pitch that can long bomb on a 3+ with a reroll. I mean,
Yeah, that always helps, right?
yeah,
It's a nice luxury to have.
yeah, I think that's quite good.
13 spaces at 83%.
Yeah.
And
So
this did not start this way, but this is how you normally envision Wood Elf teams. If they're gonna lose, this is how you want them in the second half. Depleted,
yeah.
laying on the ground, wondering whether they should have been high elves. They would have got better armor.
Yeah. So Oswald, if he survives this blow, he will have one more blitz to give away from him. Whoa, that's not good.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he
And
took
that's a
it.
so he did
Hmm.
not use the reroll.
No.
Sacrificial elf does what sacrificial elf is there to
So
do.
Rez
Sacrificed.
will try once more for the ball, I guess, since he would save the reroll. But he doesn't really have anyone to score with.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of that's a smart move. I think by Reds, it's hedging his bets, saying like, look, this touchdown is probably happening, and I can't stop it. So all I can
Yeah.
do is continue to run at it and maybe hope to get lucky. But if I burn my reroll and do that too, then when I finally, if we go into overtime or if I get my chance for a one turner, and this, and then I don't have rerolls, then well, that really puts me at a serious
Yeah,
disadvantage. So
uh, it's getting late, so Hard to pay attention to everything in the
Oh
end
no,
always.
that's cool. No, I appreciate you staying up and calling this. Where are you? What country are you in? What country are you
I'm in
from?
Norway. I'm from Norway.
Oh,
Uh,
cool,
so,
nice.
yeah. So it's 2 a.m. here at the moment.
Oh, well, I really appreciate you staying up and and you calling this with us. And like my intent is to get as many of these coaches of us coaches in the on the Champions Ladder to, or I'm sorry, in the Champions Cup to, to be able to get some airtime and for people to get to know them. We're not just a bunch of pixels on the screen. We have hearts and we have feelings as well. By the way, speaking of Norse, the Norse coached by Gasolimo, I hope I said that right, is playing Sam again, like I said, but they've postponed their game until tomorrow, so it looks like it's going to be at 1200 GMT. So that's 12 p.m. GMT, meaning that in the United States, that's 7 a.m. So northeastern
Yeah.
in the United States. That's 7 a.m. So okay, I guess we'll have to figure out. I don't. I may have something to do in the morning, so we'll figure out whether we can set somebody up. Maybe from the Europe side to broadcast, and hopefully we will bring that to you one way or the other. For those of you interested in watching that, Fantfox declaring that those Bretts are OP. Sam's Bretts. Yeah, Sam is a big time fan of Brett's, and he kind of took pride saying he wanted to jump in the ladder and show people what Brett's could do. He thinks they are underappreciated.
I believe that Sam is the one who makes the Bretts OP. He, he
Yeah, he
play them
does have
really
them
well.
built. He does have them built nicely, from what I
Yeah.
remember.
He is a really tough coach to hassle with as well out on the pitch. I mean, he can do some magic with those Bretts.
Well, Diner, I would say that we've all one of the things that I feel that coaches, that if you want to be a winning coach now when you get to like the upper echelons, it's not just about what you do on the field, right? Because everybody like everybody in the Champions Cup is a good coach, right? And we don't make a lot of like crap plays and a lot of mistakes, but the problem is sometimes your team is just outclassed. So I feel like in order to be a winning coach at the higher levels, you not only have to be a good tactician or know how to move pieces, but you have to be a good team builder. You got to be a good general manager. You got to build your team a
Yeah.
certain specific way, and not only that, you have to know why everybody is where they are, that they're justifying their TV and what their purpose is, and use them appropriately. And you'll find that some of
And
the
don't
best
do
guys. Oh, go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, and don't do the mistake that I did with my human team to go after a gut runner without being able to screen off your star killer,
Ah.
so he gets killed by himself. I mean,
Oh man, that
it's
had to be tough.
and now it's okay because I know I took the risk, but still, it's just those things that you learn as you go. I mean, if you love some players, try to not put them in the most dangerous situation at all time. Screen them off. Use them back and forth, but
Help them help
use them
you.
smart.
Help
Yeah,
them help you.
exactly.
Yeah, and so it,
Don't
it
let
looks like
them be
we
the
are going to
beating
see
bag.
the turn 16 score by Mojo. He's got 3 rerolls, so he could maximize his hits on these wood elves. I would say if you're gonna do that, make sure make it count and make it worth it. Go with Oswald the Stern, but I have had it happen to me a couple times before where I take those extra hits and I get quad skulls. And quad skulls right now to end the game would be extremely frustrating.
Yeah, at the he won't do it. He will. Okay.
He is going to go for it. I can see why it's worth it in this game because you're going to overtime and you have a guy that has
Yeah.
a good chance. Like I mean, it's close to a 50% chance, if not less, with Pylon and the Mighty Blow to put that player out of commission. But he fails to knock him down. Wisely does not spend the reroll to try to do it because then you never know what you're going to get with the reroll.
Yep.
And that's a touchdown by Carrion Ripper. That's his second touchdown, I think. And he's going to claim another cameraman to feast on as a trophy. Oh, man.
So,
Poor cameraman. His face looks just split open. That's disgusting. I think his jaw is resting on top of his head now. Not a pretty sight. Carrion Ripper, a vicious, vicious, vicious thing.
I'm excited to see if the ruler actually have the manpower to push. How many squares do I need to push? Two? No, one.
Let's
We
see.
have
Who is there? It depends who's
we
still
have
on field,
11
right?
with the three going for it. 11
Yep.
movement
He
with
just
three
needs
going
two
for it,
then.
so it's two.
13
Yeah.
squares to score,
But
aka 26 yards. Two
but we
pushes.
have 6, 7 players. Should be doable, I think. But it will be hard, of course. I think there will be some red dice involved if Mojo sets up his
It hurts if
defense.
that slop heap doesn't get up, honestly. That hurts.
Oh,
And yeah, so it looks like all right, so Mojo is preparing his defense. This is the back setup is good. Grouping those three together on the line of scrimmage, and is he leaving his school there? No, I imagine he won't.
no, no, no. But I believe that if you put your mummy just behind the ghoul and one square to the right, like down right, it will be a much stronger defense against the one turn touchdown with a few fellows behind your line of skirmish.
Right, because in order to it doesn't let you push.
Yeah, because it doesn't have leap now. Every war dancer is out, so he can't really leap in and push one out. And if he tries to go from the side, he gets a guard against him, so he will have red dice and so
Right.
on.
Although
So
that really hasn't
he
stopped
should have
Rez.
the opportunity.
The red dice hasn't stopped Rez.
Is this doable? Should be. Because he technically have movement 9 on his catcher, or I think about it, but he have 11 movements with going for it on his catcher, so 2 squares to push.
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't do
And he leaves
nothing
the
bad.
team there as is. I found it a little curious that he didn't. He kept his mummy off the pitch. I
Oh,
mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but
no.
those mummies. If you're gonna leave your mummies back, I'd put them stand firm on the corners, so somehow they don't get.
Maybe he's afraid of the Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rock have killed so many players in the Blood
Uh,
Bowl communities. It's just
Rocks
stupid.
are brutal, man.
Yeah, it's the first inducement for the arena I buy, or I can't remember the squig thing or whatever it
The
is.
squig sandwich kiosk.
Yeah, that's the
It
first
keeps
thing I buy.
fans. It keeps getting fans from
I
getting too pissed off and throwing
yeah,
rocks.
I like Get the Ref, but I really, really not enjoying the Rock.
So
I
you're gonna
had
have
so many bad experiences with it, with that the little Rock coming into the field and just kills a player of you. And it's usually a good player that you care about as well.
yeah. And Fan Fox is in the chat, and I think Fan Fox is also a board member of Blood and Tears, and so he knows Mojo pretty well. They played a lot of games against each other. And I think Fan Fox is saying he guarantees the reason that Mummy is off the pitch is in case the rock is thrown.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Besides, I don't think there's a way for somebody to get downfield and actually take a shot and
So
push him out of the way. Dirty player. And Rez
now he has
looking like,
sidestep. He actually have set it up. No.
yep, just needs 2 pushes.
Oh.
And that's going to help.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe not. That's the guy he was going to make the blitz with. And now he's making from the other side. So no problem. Wood Elves adjust. Yeah, I don't actually mean
Yeah,
that.
this looks good. Yeah.
That was probably the guy he wanted to use in the first place. So now push the
It's getting late. I didn't see this at all, but
Yeah,
this looks very good actually.
yeah.
So this could be the winning part of the game. This is what I'm talking about. If you had players
That doesn't
behind
help.
your line of skirmish, that blitz right there shouldn't be possible. The first blitz he did
Right,
as easily as he did.
right. The reroll burn though. on the 2-die block. This is one of the few times you see somebody reroll
But this is...
POWs.
Yeah,
But
I was thinking bonehead. I was like, no.
and this time he's going to opt for the POW. Because this involves sprint now,
Oh,
he just didn't have the personnel to
agility 5
knock
as
again.
well.
Yeah, this could. Ooh, Mojo's definitely having a butt clench moment right now.
Yeah.
The handoff made very simple by that unfortunate for Mojo kick, and you're gonna see Slip and
There we
Slide
go.
try to live up to his name. He's slipping, he's sliding, he's moving, he's shaking, he comes up 2 yards short. The ball goes into the crowd. The fans throw it back onto the field in disgust.
And we're up to overtime. Man, that was close.
But before we go to overtime, okay, no, Mojo just went to overtime. I was wondering if Slip and Slide was gonna get the business while he was over there laying around all those undead.
He probably would if Mojo had another turn.
Yeah. Wow, what a match! What a match!
Yeah.
Whoever wins this, whoever comes out of this is definitely, we're all looking at this guy like, that's a contender. Both of these coaches are dangerous as hell. So, congratulations, you guys. You just got the attention of the other 7 guys who are going to be standing in round 2 with you. There's a target on your back coming out of this match if you win. Oh, so I guess I was wrong. I thought Fant got promoted to board member of Blood and Tears. I guess I was wrong. I thought I heard something about one of the board members in Blood and Tears having to take a step back because of life commitments, and then they backfilled the spot with 2 guys. So, well, we'll just say FanFox is a very respected member of the Blood and Tears community.
Yeah. Well, Reznor got his award answer back, so that's
huge.
Good news for him.
That is
but
huge.
He lost the toss. So
Yes.
That's huge for Noah, who can just turtle up and try to win the game as slowly and safe as possible.
Yeah, but you remember, that's a double-edged sword. You don't want to get caught in the Bernie Buffon conundrum, as we should probably name that. We should immortalize his name and call it Bernie Buffoning when you're unable to score. You don't give up the ball, but you're unable to score in overtime with 8 turns and end up going to penalty kicks. Ways to use this in a sentence? Oh, no, man. I don't want to get Bernie Buffoned.
Yeah, we can have that. I like it.
I was up 11 guys to 5, but man, I ran out of time, got Bernie Buffoned on penalty kicks.
Yeah. Oh, those elves. They can do some work on you.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the pitch for the Wood Elves. And I probably could have just subtracted 3 from 11, but I like to do things the hard way. So, work harder, not smarter, right?
Yeah, okay.
The BBC, I like it, FanFox. The BBC, the Bernie Buffon conundrum. And brilliant coaching gives FC Atletico Funtimes the extra reroll. That was Nuffle saying, you know what, Mojo, you done good. I'm going to give you an extra reroll. And Rez really wishing that reroll belonged to him. Rez is probably salty over there, like, come on, man.
He wished that his last reroll were enough to actually win the game. So yeah. It was a good try from Reznor. It was
Great
the
try.
opportunity he needed to take. Yeah.
And people are on notice now. If you didn't think Reznor could pull off the 1 turn, now you know. Do not let ReznorRulesYou get a good shot on you for a 1 turn. You better brush up on your 1 turn defense. He will take advantage.
And I think Mojo might have learned something from the last rise. Now he doesn't put his mummies next to the tree.
Yeah, absolutely. Lesson hard learned for him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, preach exactly. One of the greatest comedies ever, Kingpin, Munsoned. You don't want to be Munsoned. Are you seeing these? By the way, I got my Twitch open so I can see the comments. I don't know if you've got yours open.
No, I don't have my Twitch open.
So I'll keep telling you all the really good comments so that you can appreciate them too.
I just have the game on. I'm just streaming from Cabal.
Yes, sir. And then also I'll gleefully observe the chat comments from those people whose comments I don't repeat, and then they get angry. They're like, "Hey, that was a good comment. You need to repeat that. Tell them what I said."
Okay.
So yeah, so Squiggy's saying that there's an 89% chance of winning if it goes to kicks because for undead. Um, why? I'm wondering why it would be 89%. You both roll a 1d6 and then you add. Oh yes, because that I just answered my own question. You you both roll a 1d6 and then you add the number of rerolls you have left, and
Oh, really?
yeah, that's how it works. So even though you
Hmm.
see this cool animation with penalty kicks, what it really
Yeah.
is you both just roll a 1d6 and then you add
I
the
never
rerolls.
played the overtime in tabletop before, so I don't really know how the rules are, but it's really good to know that you need to preserve some rerolls if you know you're going to overtime to actually win the toss or to have a higher chance
With
to
the
get
penalty
up
kick.
with the toss.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the base rule, and that's what Cyanide has implemented with the rerolls. But what I've been told from a lot of tabletop players is that nobody in tabletop will take it to freaking penalty kicks. They think it's the lamest thing, so they'll the house rules are like you play a second overtime or something like that. You keep going on
Yeah.
overtime until there's a knockout. But for
Do you
us, it's
think the
pretty cool watching a
Resno?
tree kick a, or yeah,
Yeah.
kick a field goal.
I think those elves will just flood down the field now, trying to
Yeah, it's your best shot.
cut off.
You can't let
Yeah,
these
cut
guys
off the rest of the things.
cage up.
No.
Duran saying
So
his
yeah.
all this stuff is solid gold. I need to quote him. I gotta shout out my man Duran. Funny dude, man. He set a bunch of he holds a bunch of the individual statistics records in the MML too. You want to talk about a guy that likes to sling the ball with those high elves? That's Duran, and he said he's. I think I've seen him up on the leaderboard. Season 2. In case you don't know, if you're watching us play and you're jealous and you wish you were part of this action, well then why don't you get your jelly ass up on season two's championship ladder? The ladder is already open, and you could be one of these 16 coaches next season. But wait until I get one of my teams up there pretty high, so then I'm way out of reach, and then go try your hand and don't use the race I'm using, please. But yeah, Durun is in the ladder
Oh
for season 2, and
no!
no, Slop Heap unable to seal the deal, and he's badly hurt. They're gonna cart him off the field, and damn, not looking good
Oh,
for the
that killed
Welves.
a big part of the game, actually.
Oh, that hurts.
Yep.
Double skulls. Nuffle says no. NSN. And of course, by the way, we've had having this discussion about the penalty kicks. That is how the first match ended of the Champion Cup. So it's been epic so far. Penalty kicks, with the first penalty kick being sealed by a tree. Uh-oh. There's Oswald again. And yeah, Oswald, there's only two things sure in life is I'm sorry, Death and Oswald knocking Wood Elves the hell out.
Yeah, he really likes punching them. He thinks it's good practice. Teaching himself how to punch properly for the next team, and they probably will meet at the look of it right now.
Every time this guy I see the animation of Oswald going to town on one of these Wood Elves, I keep thinking like the Mortal Kombat, finish him,
Yeah, it's very close to that.
fatality, Oswald wins. And Bernie Buffon screaming conspiracy about discrimination against short people, penalty kicks, discriminate against dwarves, and he's filing a grievance, filing a grievance against the Champion Cup. I think he told me he intends to post that on the forums, on the official forums,
Yeah.
complaining to Netheos. Of course, this is all said in jest, but
Oh man.
Bernie's a good dude, man. He's
So,
funny.
if you think about this game now, what are Reznor's options there?
Um, what is Reznor's options now at this point? Try to survive and wait till your shot comes up. I mean, basically, you just have to hope that one of these ghouls botches, like the picking up the ball. You know, just gotta kind of guerrilla warfare. Keep harassing them. Okay,
Mm.
well there goes that. He's picked up the ball, so just
Yeah.
keep harassing them. Be a pain in the butt. Like keep like coming in from every shot you take. Do wood elf crap. It doesn't help that the tree's rooted too. This is just it's looking very bad for the wood elves. The game started so well for them too.
Oh yes. I if Mojo win this game, because I say if due to elves and all the things they usually do, the slip up from Reznor, it has to be the punt of the ball when he caught the ball after Mojo was trying to score. What was it again? Yeah, the 1-2 goal. I think that was
The turning point.
that the
Oh,
yeah
there's the
the
elf
turning
BS.
point
There's
of
what we were talking about. And
yes.
they're just harassing. That's what it's not even BS really. Look at that agility. I mean, it's BS that you got a 1, if anything. Energy 5,
That's normal for
2
us.
plus dodge. Yeah, he's just gonna make himself a pain in the butt. And the thing is that they've got undead as players down the field, but they're like a lot of them are not that high in movement. So now he's doing what you said. He's screening everybody off from.
Yeah. And he have only a few elves left with good survivability. I mean, Bludge. He lost both 3 bludgers. No,
Yeah.
only 2 bludgers have lost. But that's quite a lot if you think about the amount of bludge he have in the team, because he only have uh, 5 altogether, and he lost 2 of them. So
Wow. And wow, this sacrificial elf also clearing, getting himself in the free. So, what looked like a horrible situation and almost a helpless
whoa!
situation by the wood elves is
I would
improved
love to
slightly.
see that go through. So close.
I'm reading so Squiggy 1981 posted page 15 of the LRB says this is for tabletop. The first team to score wins the match. If neither team scores, this is overtime. The match is decided by a penalty shootout. Each culture rolls a d6, and the high score wins, and then you re-roll ties. Okay,
Okay.
so each unused team reroll adds 1 to the d6 score. In the event of the tie, the dice is re-rolled. Okay, so that's what it is. So it's like, yeah, I mean that's what we thought it was anyway. You roll a d6, and the other guy rolls a d6, and whoever rolls the higher number is the one that wins, and you add rerolls to it. Yeah, so that's what we thought.
Yeah.
But what you see in the animation looks like basically every time they kick a field goal, oh, there's that flying white Sexius Rexius looking more like Frailius Nalius or whatever. I don't know. I was onto something
Who
at
knows?
first.
He's gonna take a short rest at least. Oswald is doing his work. I mean, Oswald has once a Mojo lost Oswald and his second tackle white as well. I mean, the game looked totally different.
Yeah.
This game has been a roller coaster. It had so many different things that happened in this game. It's hard to remember all of them now.
Absolutely. You know, I will say this. So I'm in both of these leagues that these guys are part of. That you know, the banners being waved right now are, you know, Reznor is MML, Mojo is Blood and Tears, and in the MML, the prevailing you know, kind of hashtag is just score, right? Don't hang around and
Mm.
screw around and always give the guy another chance to disrupt your touchdown. When you have the opportunity, score unless the stalling is like really, 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 um, you know, like sure. There are a few coaches in the MML that break away from that. In BNT, I think that it's the opposite. I've watched people do like really, really risky things to stall. Like they're much more comfortable you know, like sitting there doing crazy stall tactics and even letting me get a shot at their ball carrier in order to not score and then give me the ball back on offense. I don't know if you've found it to be the same thing at BNT.
I'm just the last one you described.
Yeah, right.
I
That's what we.
hate playing defense. I feel I'm terrible at it. So I usually try to stall as much as possible, so so the opposite coach have less time to make his own touchdown and have to take more risk. So it's a two-edged sword pretty much. If it works out, great. You have the other coach who have to make more difficult dices. If it doesn't work out, disaster. You don't get the touchdown, and you have to play a really good defense to actually win the ball back. So
Right. And of course, it's an
yeah,
inexact science. And I will say, my chaos in my last or my second to last game of the regular ladder. Right. I played Le Bulldog, who is the founder of Blood Bowl International. He missed the playoffs by one. By one. Our match was he pulled the stall tactic for like 5 turns on me, and he got burnt. I came in with a Minotaur and managed to disrupt him. It was a stand firm Minotaur too with block, and pinned him to the side
yeah,
with what would have been a short touchdown before, and we ended up drawing. So I salvaged a draw out of it. Sometimes it'll burn you, but in this match, stall forever definitely beats just score.
yeah. Here we go. Not enough. So close.
It's still it's got to be scary if you're on the receiving end of
Yeah.
that. And that's a sidestepper, a sidestep blodger. So if you don't put him down, and it's only a 1/3 chance of putting him down with a single die throw, right? So if you don't put him down, he's just gonna still be there, blocking your way, causing you problems.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, though, there's gonna be several different players that continue to take shots at him. I mean, this could get ugly.
And with low armor value as well, you never know when the injury comes around. So
Absolutely. Barrett, the tyrant, taking a swing at I can't believe it's not butter. Oh, so Squiggy says that if multiple penalty kicks animations are shown, the dice roll with modifiers was tied, and that's
okay.
Doge74, the community moderator. So I didn't realize that. So if it's only one penalty kick, then they're not. eh, okay, that's cool.
So Mojo are making sure that that the sidestepper will actually go out of the cage when you punch him, or trying to at least.
Yes. Yeah, I've said this before. So, hey, sidestep is great. It's a pain in the butt, but you can, if you're willing to commit the resources, you can surf
Oh,
or send the guy the way you want him to. Reroll had to be
yeah.
taken there, so now he's only got 3. I feel really bad for Mojo that he's in a really bad position with only 3 rerolls left. And there goes, uh-oh, there's the piling on with the white fly,
There
Mr.
we
White
go.
Fly. Oswald put slip and slide away. That's an injury. Badly hurt, no long term, but might as well be gone for weeks because if they don't win this match, he's done. The Wood Elves are done.
Yes.
So
Well,
Bernie
he did.
Buffon weighing in. Bernie coaches in the MML, but he says he's not a fan of just score. He says coaches of destruction vocabulary. He says scoring is for wimps. He'd rather beat people up.
Yeah.
Bernie Buffon predicting touchdown in turn 25. And Fan Fox saying yes, that is definitely known as a BBC now. The Bernie Buffon conundrum.
Oh,
Uh-oh, wait, was the reroll
is
already
that
used? Or...
finished?
Oh no,
Yeah.
it
It
was.
was a greed reroll on the sidestepper.
Big failure. And
So
I mean, that still doesn't leave him that many options, but it's a problem. He didn't move the
it,
cage. I mean, this team is a lot more mobile than the Oafs. The
yeah,
Dwarves. But shoot, ugh. What would it take for a the Agi 5 jumping into? No, there's no way. Jumping
edge is
into the
6. It
4
can go in on a 3 plus
on
in
a
that
3
cage.
plus
No, 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 no. 4
into a
plus,
4
I
into a
think.
4 tackle zone cage.
No, it's I don't
You'd have to
know
dodge him back the
on
other way.
the
1, 2, yeah. Into 3,
yeah.
it would be 3. Yeah, so into 3 it would be 3 plus. Yeah. So he has to
Yeah.
get around though. Does he have the movement for that? One, yeah, he does. 3, 4, 5, 6. It would be with a go for it too as well though. So then do you just make it
But
fifty
but
percent and
it's
jump in?
2 dice against though, so
Yeah, and a 2 die roll. That's not pretty. No, yeah, no. I
we
think you got to go
could.
around and get the go for it.
I have no idea what I would do here. I mean, you
Yeah, I
don't
mean, you.
usually work with these I can't say the word statistics.
Yeah, statistics. No, but you know what? I'm thinking it's a 1 in 36 chance of dislodging the ball. That guy's a blodger, and you don't have a tackle guy. Maybe you. Actually, you know what? You can make it. Could you make it a red die block? But
Oh, there we go. That's the one he needed to make. I was thinking of the same thing actually.
oof,
If it is
the
those
playing field has
dice would
changed.
work it.
Now
Yeah,
this is
he
a
gets
1 die,
one dice now,
but you still have to dodge into the tackle zone.
and he still have to get the ball.
Oh, okay. Now you don't have to dodge into that tackle zone
Nope.
because yeah, there's no guard around him anymore.
He need a incredibly good bounce, and then just
And then off to the
I don't
races. We
know.
have seen that
If
happen
if he
before.
blitz with the thrower, he can't punt the ball either. So
You
then you
can't
just have to
ask
pray
for
that it.
more out of a finish for a champion for a playoff match than this, huh? This is exciting as hell.
No.
Oh, and he comes up with he gets that 1 in 6 chance happen for him, all right, but it's not the one he was hoping for. And will Sextus
Nope.
Rexus still be in this game after Carrion Ripper gets through punishing him for his insolence?
That's the wrong side of the dice, though.
Mm-hmm. And Sextus Rexus is gonna knock out for a couple of turns, and the question is, will this game even still be going at that point?
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny because elves, they just keep going in. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter how tight you put your cage or how much you punch them, they just keep coming.
They don't take no for an answer.
Oh no. But the I truly like the what is it called? The side of the pitch where all the elves are just resting now. It's starting to pile up there.
Oh yeah, the kill box. That's
Yeah,
what we
the
call
kill.
it. That is known as the kill box, at least in the MML.
Yeah.
I really like especially the more I'm part of different leagues and you get like the different lingo. Potato, I think I first heard in BNT, and now that's made its way over to the MML. And so hopefully, Killbox will start spreading too.
Yeah. Maybe the
Killbox
form
win.
is right. Maybe this will go into a touchdown on turn 25.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. If the hits keep coming this way, ugh, it's so skulls for the Wood Elves, but the undead are rolling pals,
Yeah.
and only one more Wood Elf standing in the way between the Carrion Ripper's hat trick and ultimate glory.
Wow. This game.
By the way, if anybody in the chat does know, how did the term potato actually start?
The term potato? No
Yeah.
idea.
If anybody
No
knows
idea.
what the reasoning, why it's called a potato, I don't know. And we got the Godfather of the MML in the chat declaring hashtag Killbox win. I'll give him credit for that. I think he's the guy that came up with the hashtag. So you know what? There's more than one way to win the game, and it's not always the score. Sometimes it's just about bashing and making yourself feel a little better. And now you are seeing Carrion Ripper moving into scoring range. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 go for it, and he's in scoring range. And Sacrificial Elf 2.1 is thinking, what is a Sacrificial Elf to do? If they don't make a move soon, this could go sideways really, really quickly.
Yep. Well, what's the options?
I mean,
Really?
if you don't
I
make a
mean,
move now, what's probably happening, what may happen next turn,
Yeah.
is handoff to Buffon, and he's gone, or he's gone for the one GFI touchdown, or you're just seeing. Nah, actually, you're probably just seeing Karrion Ripper go put himself in
Here
position
comes
to
another
score.
one dice.
Whew.
So this is a 4+ dodge with a reroll
The fun
into
never stops, and he's not even
a
going to try to
foul.
get the.
Into a foul?
Wow, he's
No.
in. And sidestep is in effect, but he's not able to use it to get himself closer to the end zone. So I guess Mojo was counting on that sidestep and the attempt to block on him as getting him closer. He's thinking, well, that'll just make it one GFI, but no.
Will he dodge his
Sacrificial
Agi
elf.
5 out again?
I think you have to, man. Oh,
No.
Dodger Agi 5 out.
No,
No,
he
I
didn't.
thought you meant the guard. Yeah, the guard piece is going to come around, and now all of a sudden we have a potential scoring threat on the other side. So Rez says you want to be a scoring threat to me. I'm gonna do the same thing back to you.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do.
And if
And
they can hold this cage in place for one more turn, that gives Sexius Rexius a chance to get up. That's the Agi 6 guy, and nasty hit on. I can't believe it's not butter.
yeah,
Was probably
Oswald
thinking, I
doing
can't
more
believe
work.
that wasn't a truck.
Wow, Reznor never gives up. You
No.
know, he can play with 3 elves. He doesn't need any more players. He just need one with that.
I mean, let's keep it real.
But
This is not a good situation, but this is the best of a bad situation coming from
yeah,
a
exactly.
desperate coach.
And Mojo have to keep playing good because if he slips up somehow,
One
Reznor will
mistake.
take the ball and score. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's how elves works.
This is tough.
Yep.
2-die
Oh,
block.
got the power.
And Sacrificial Elf making good on his name. And smacked around to the ground. Luther looks down at him. Laughs. Adjusts his shades. Bernie Buffon
Saying
doesn't
to the
score in overtime.
sacrificial
It's in his
elf, I will
contract.
feed on you later.
And yeah, I think we may be seeing. I don't know. You think he readjusting the cage, or are we taking 2 go for it's for the win? Because you got rerolls.
No, he
Are you just
will
moving the cage
cage
up?
up again.
Yeah, cage up,
Yeah.
reestablish it a little farther. The problem is that I don't know if he's got personnel in range to do a full cage now.
No, I was looking at the same thing. I think the moving the white after
Oh, he's gonna go potato.
Dorio. Okay.
He's gonna potato, and
It's
he's
kind
out
of
of
close
range for
then.
sacrifice. So it's not even really a potato because he's completely out of range. Nobody can. There's one elf that can touch him. I mean, it would have to be the ultimate supreme wood elf BS, but no. Now that guy, all he can do is put himself. Doriel can make himself a punching bag and put himself in the way, but he's not getting a
Yeah.
hit anymore. And you can take a swipe at Luther. I think we may be seeing the end of the match in turn 23. So we're not going to have the pleasure of a Buffon. I mean, no Bernie Buffon today,
It doesn't
unless
look like it.
sacrificial elf. I don't know. That's a lot of dice. I was gonna say sacrificial elf could mark up Luther. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And without grab on the tree, I don't think one turn possible.
No, this is not gonna be. I mean, when you score in overtime, it's sudden death.
Ah, it's sudden death, of
Yeah.
course, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So
I
that's
was
a.
thinking.
No, this is a wrap, man. There's
Yeah.
no way. Even yeah,
Well,
I mean,
there's
3.
one last spread, though, isn't it? Yeah.
It's.
No, it's not.
I mean, the
You
only
can't.
thing I could see happening is sacrificial elf maybe marks up Luther, and then Doriel runs up and successfully one die blocks Luther, moving himself into contact with Carrion Ripper, who then fails a double dodge, or Luther doesn't get up, and yeah, very unlikely. But
I think I will
there's
just try to dodge in next to Karen Ripper and hope that some player rolls doubled skull
yeah,
next die. well,
Yeah, I think that's what it's
it
gonna have
wouldn't
to be.
have.
And
No,
Bernie
he has
Buffon
to
scolding
make
you there,
the
Dino. You didn't learn from the Buffon mistakes, and that's the match. Oh yeah,
yeah,
he said yeah. Overtime is sudden death. Sacrificial Elf
yeah.
2.1 unable to catch Carrion Ripper, and Carrion Ripper's gonna hat trick and make this 3-2. So wow, an unlikely comeback. I mean, Welves go up 2-0 in the first half, and
Ooh,
you thought this was over, and nope, Carrion Ripper's gonna go
wow.
right for that
What
end
a game.
zone and
What a game.
score, putting away the Welves. So we have previously to this match, we invited the coaches into the chat. We had them hold off on actually coming in so that our announcing did not, kind of announce coach them. Bad news for the only bad news for the whole second half for FC Atletico is Luther gets the MVP. So he's going to take that with him and he's going to take the money and run. Uh, the tail of the tape here, man, 24 armor breaks to 5. Really, really
Yeah,
tough. Ball possession,
but it's
63%
kind of
for.
expected against elves when you use Oswald to almost every block.
Yeah, and
I
here's
mean,
also the tell again. Rez has told me before, he can tell the success. If he can help it, he tries to keep his blocks on his Welves down to 30 something, right, at
okay,
maximum. There's 54
yeah,
blocks put on him by FC Atleticos or Funtimes. So
yeah.
yeah, that
That's with a few extra rounds to play with as well. So
absolutely.
I guess Rest was thinking about when you play 16 or 32 rounds.
So yeah,
Um,
make that point be known. Freaking, if you're a Wood Elf team, overtime is bad for you. That's 8 more turns of you getting bashed around, and the injuries really mounted up. Man, that
yeah.
white is nasty. So Oswald
Oh, yeah.
he's nasty. Look out for him.
He was the star of the show, I think. I
There is a
mean,
target on his head now.
he removed a lot of important players for Ross. So
And we'll see if anybody
I
leveled
mean,
up for the team eventually. But yeah, sucks that Luther took 6 of those points.
yeah.
It looks like. So I'm not seeing the coaches jump into the chat. So maybe we won't have the post game interviews that we wanted. But the great job by both coaches. Thank you all in the chat for tuning this in and making this a very enjoyable experience. A lot of fun on my end calling this game. Very active chat. You guys had some great comments. Um, and Bernie
I
Buffon arguing that
really.
OT for the dwarves is just as bad with the little legs. Oh, wait, we got
Yeah.
Rez. Rez just joined us in the chat. What were you going to say real quick, though,
Oh.
Dinar?
No, just thinking about the game has been so really entertaining. It had about everything you can think of in a Blood Bowl match.
I agree.
It's
And
been
the
so
games
much
have been
back
like
and
this
forth, and yeah,
all weekend, so this is great.
and there was not really any really crazy dice roll that changed the game. It was just somehow one pulled through, pretty
Good
much.
coaching from both sides and people exploiting
Oh yeah.
their strengths. Definitely. Reznor, how you doing, man?
Still mad at myself for not checking his range on the punt. I was so
Yeah, talking
worried about
about
the
that a little bit.
interception attempt. Yeah, I got so focused on him potentially rolling a 6 for an interception that I forgot to check his range and basically went from sealing up the 2-0 at the half to handing him the 2-1 at the half. But I mean, Mojo's a great coach. My games against him are always epic, and that's all it takes is one little slip up, and it came back to bite me.
Yeah, it's saying the same to you as well. You have played so truly great this game. Even if you only have 2 elves left, you're still a threat to the ball. So you truly
That
put your heart
was
out there.
that was really all I could do at that point. I mean, with the AG5, with the sacrificial elf, he's AG5 and dodge, so he's got the 75% chance, and he kept getting in there, but he just could not get that pal.
No,
I don't
no.
know what I would have done with the ball if he had actually knocked it free, but man, it would have been nice if he knocked it free.
Yeah,
Rez,
then
man,
anything can
you
happen.
heard it here first. Your new nickname is Gorilla Rez. That was ultimate guerrilla warfare. You had like three dudes running around just causing mayhem. That was a lot harder on Mojo. It looked like it was a lot harder on him than he thought it was going to be when he went up on those numbers.
I just kept hoping for a quad skull or something. Like I said, I don't know if I had the players or any positioning to make something happen. You saw he actually did get a double skull on a ghoul. I
He
went in the
did.
cage basically like any other turn, and I don't think I had the guys left to get the score if I got the ball free anyway.
You never know, man. What did we say, right? Three wood elves on the pitch is
I
enough to
did
win it.
have the lineman down the field. I mean, it
Yep.
could have happened, but getting the ball out was, man. How about that pylon light? That animation's sick.
Dude, yeah, that's that
Yeah.
right there. That animation is.
Yeah,
I
I've
was
seen
saying in
that
the chat, I was
before.
like, I'm going to sleep like that from now on every night.
Welves do it in the dirt are officially 0-3 against Atletico Funtimes.
Oh, yeah, he's just some coaches just got your number, and
Yep.
yeah, Mojo is an excellent coach. So are you. This was we were both agreeing here, and everybody in the chat. I mean, excellent display. You guys really did the PS4 crowd and community. You guys really made us proud. You know, we got some PC players peeking their heads in here sometimes and checking out what we got to offer. And I would love to see this cross-platform play. But I'm really proud of what we got going on here. Got a good community over the PS4, and dude, people are going to be coming to you, reaching out for Wood Elf advice. I'm sure in the future.
Well, I mean, yeah, Demented, he's advanced on. He managed to make it
Yes.
past some really nice dwarves. And here so far in season 2, I'm ranked ahead, but he's 2-0. I don't think he's got a lot of games in yet. So, uh, I don't know if I'm not. You're talking about me playing Lupac during the game, and I'm like, no, please, I don't want to try that.
Hey, I don't know. Squiggy81 is saying, Squiggy1981 is saying that either you or Mojo, could easily put yourself against any of the top 8 on PC, and he has no idea who would win. I'd agree with
Yeah,
that.
I see Squiggy around a lot. I always love seeing him. I feel like he's got a real love for Blood Bowl, like a lot of the rest of us. It's always nice to see him around, and he's very generous.
No, it's good. Yeah, definitely a good dude. But dude, yeah, don't undersell yourself. You did a great job. Dice didn't cut your way. I mean, but both of you guys just an awesome job. And like
Yeah,
Dice
I
were
don't
not.
think any dice were really. I don't think the dice were a big factor. Everything pretty much went the way it should, and that punt. If I'd put the punt out of range, I think I probably would have had it. But he did a great play to get the ball and get the score, and that was really the pivotal moment, I think.
Yep. Well, so yeah, I hope that you will. By the way, I've had the pleasure of announcing with you in the MML many times. We haven't got you in on the champion ladder, so I'm hoping that although you're out of the cup, you'll continue to stick
Oh,
around and
definitely.
announce some of these other games.
Definitely, and I just want to second what you guys were saying during the match. You know, I've been really pleasantly surprised. I was basically ready to quit Blood Bowl before I got into MML, and the private leagues have really good communities. I've been really surprised by the championship ladder community. You threw all of us playoff guys into a group chat, and it's been a real riot. Yeah, meeting some other guys from other leagues that I didn't even know existed, which is awesome. And it's been a lot of fun. It's very surprising, and I'm still playing for season 2, and I'm definitely up for announcing some of these games.
Nice, good stuff. Well, we got the upcoming matches are still Sam T versus Gasol Limal. I hope I'm saying that right. I got to play Afro Chef. I still haven't heard back from him. So
Yeah, I
Sam's
think
game is
Afro's
tomorrow.
actually been a little sick. I saw him say something in another league, so
Okay.
hopefully he feels better and can get his game in. We've had a nice pace too. This is half the games in the first round played
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, but people here like we've worked hard to get where we are. Like there was a lot of grinding of games to try to get where we are, and nobody wants to wait to get. We want to get this on and popping. So, round 2 should be happening shortly. Like probably starting on Tuesday because the last of our scheduled games are happening on Monday. We got a double header Monday evening. We got at 1200 GMT tomorrow. Sam and Gasolim all play. So that's like 7 a.m. for us East Coasters like me and Rezar. We're East Coast Americans. So maybe we'll catch that
Merca.
at 7 in the morning. We'll figure out who's gonna stream that. I'll keep you guys posted. And and hopefully Afro and I can get together maybe tomorrow and get ours in, and then we'll get on with it. But
Yeah, the
looks like
amount of excitement for each other's games has been really nice.
yeah, definitely. We're all definitely on the lookout for who's showing too much ability with their team. And I think after this one, Mojo's gonna have a major target on his back. People ain't playing around with him.
Definitely, most definitely. I'm still shocked, and nothing against Rostaffer. He's a great coach and he's very good, but still shocked the Indians are out first round. Still
Yeah,
shocked.
yeah. I mean, Didi's not only is Didi a great coach, right, and
Yeah.
Rostaffer is a great coach as well, but Didi's team was just
Yeah.
dominant.
Yeah.
Just wow, and it shows you, man. That's why you got to play the games, because just because you got a fly team doesn't mean it's gonna cut against you
And
that
the
time, and anything
inducements
can happen.
can really help you out. I mean, Luther was nice. He really used Mojo used Luther great. He used him more as like a blocker, so I couldn't get after after the piling on white and stuff when he could. But
Yeah,
Eldra won the game for Rostaffer earlier with the interception. Literally,
yeah,
the inducement won the game on the last play.
yeah. Totally, like literally worth his money.
Yeah, that's one of the few times you could really say that he was worth that and then some.
Yeah. Good stuff, guys. All right, so it looks like we've been broadcasting for a while, and to not let this run forever, I'm just gonna cut it short because we're not. I guess Mojo's in the chat, but he hasn't joined us. I mean, he's in the messaging chat, but he hasn't joined us on here.
I believe
So
he's actually in the bathroom.
oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you for
Was
broadcasting that now to the world.
the general
Nice.
message. I believe he phrased it a little more politely. I believe he said the Louvre, but yeah, we're as you said, East Coast America. I don't have time for all these prissy words.
Not only that, but if you beat let this be known, if you beat Reznor in front of a large audience, he's gonna call you out for going to the bathroom after the match.
I will tell everybody. It's like the end of Harold and Kumar, and he's sitting there. He's like, oh, and I'll tell the whole office how you guys got herpes from those prostitutes. It's like, do they really have herpes? I don't know. I just said it.
I'm spreading it. I'm spreading it. Now we're almost now. Mojo is now officially bathroom boy.
Oh, that's
You heard
what
it
you
here
get for
first.
beating me, Mojo. That's what you get. Let
Two
it be
guys
known
were
for
born
season
today.
2.
Gorilla Rez and bathroom boy. and the
Despite
Bernie
losing, I think I
Buffon
came out on the
conundrum.
better end there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of the championship ladder has sparked quite a bit. Yeah, I think our community is going to be very interesting as we progress.
This is awesome. It's been great, man. It's a great match
Yeah.
on your end. It didn't
Yeah,
cut
thanks
your
for
way at the
announcing,
end,
guys.
but yeah, great time, man. Thanks. This is me, Serious Jest, signing off. And any parting words, Dinar?
I'm heading to bed. I'm just exhausted after watching the game.
Plus, it's like
Another,
3 something
like,
in the morning,
45
right?
plus turn.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. here as well, so it might have something to do as well. But
There's also that.
the game kept me awake for sure. But still, I'm very tired now.
I don't blame you. All right, guys. I'll keep you posted, and thanks for tuning in. We're out.